Kia ora koutou. Welcome everybody to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. We're here this afternoon to cover the Canterbury Red Devils and the Phoenix Thunder up from Dunedin. This afternoon's game is the 9th game for the Red Devils as they are looking to be a playoff contender for the first time in quite some time after a couple of games on the road where they split with the Botany Swarm last weekend. And of course, if you were here with us 2 weeks ago, you also heard 2 overtime wins, giving the Red Devils 3 out of 4 in the last 4 games and sitting very nicely in the table, just 1 point behind the West Auckland Admirals. Joining us here today, Alex Genty for the color commentary. Alex, welcome back, and tell us a little bit about what you expect to see this afternoon.
Yeah, it's good to be back, Matt. Red Devils in a way better spot than last I left them. They're back in legitimate playoff contention, like you mentioned, for the first time in what seems like forever. They've won a bunch of games in a row. They're going up against a Thunder team who's yet to win a game on the season. The Red Devils have got 2 really important home games this weekend against them. Take 6 points and you're in a really strong spot come playoff time.
Yeah, I think the pressure here is finally squarely on the Devils to just take care of business.
Yeah.
They are, so in the standings, of course, we talked about this at the end of the games with the Admirals. The 3-2-1 situation here for IIHF play has the Red Devils just 1 point out of second place, and the top 3 go through to the playoffs. The Swarm are sitting on 9 points, and they've got 2 very tough games this weekend against the league leaders, the Sky City Stampede. The Stampede have not given up a single point all year. They are a perfect 18 from 6 games, and that's going to be tough for them to get any kind of result. But if they do, and the Red Devils falter, then they have a real chance of catching them. If everything goes right, the Red Devils can put 6 more points on the board and really put some distance between them and 4th place. Maybe they'll get to 2nd, maybe they'll stay in 3rd, but the most important thing is to secure that 3rd spot. And here we are halfway in the season with a pivotal game 9 for them to make a run at a playoff appearance in it seems like a decade. Before I got here, I've never seen the Red Devils in the playoffs. I've been involved with the franchise for 7 seasons now, so really looking forward to it.
It's certainly been a while, and like you say, for the first time in forever, they go into this homestand expecting results. They need to take care of this Thunder team who are coming into town without a win, like we said. The Red Devils have to put them away. They have to learn how to win games, like we mentioned last time I was here.
Yep.
It's all about making sure you get the points you need so you can get the spot you need on the ladder. Like you said, the Stampede, they're in a class of their own, and they're going to take 1st place in the league, all things likely. But 2nd spot, still very much up for grabs. The Red Devils do their part this weekend. They're really in the running for that spot.
Yep. So coming up here in just a moment, you'll see some highlights from last weekend. We'll rejoin you in just a few minutes here at the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center.
I think you moved it further away. I couldn't hear you so well after you adjusted.
All right, welcome back. Apparently we don't have those highlights. We thought they were going, but turns out they're not. That's okay. It's on YouTube if you want to check it out from last week. Very interesting set of games. The Red Devils played the Swarm very tightly for 2 periods, but in the third they gave up a couple of penalty opportunities for the Swarm. They took care of business 6-3 and then turned things around for the Sunday match. Different goalie. Grace Harrison had to come in relief for Matt Canterbury after he gave up 5 in the first, and that ended up being a 9-2 affair with the Red Devils closing things out in very solid fashion, and they'll be on a hot streak here offensively. Hopefully we can keep that going against the team in green up from Dunedin. Dunedin's coming in with 0 points, as we said. They had a weekend to forget with the West Auckland Admirals just 6 days ago, so they're going to be really pushing to try to get some offense on the board. Just to start out with, your offense, Alex, I guess we should talk about the stars for the Phoenix Thunder. It really comes down to right now just Matt Enright and Dylan Devlin. Matt will be on the first line, Dylan on the second line, so they can split things up. They each only have 6 points between them. Now granted, they've only played 6 games. However, that is pretty much the total of the offense for the Thunder.
Yeah, we come into this game with a tale of 2 offenses. We have the Thunder, who are being a low-scoring team this season. Kind of no 2 ways about that. Like you said, Enright and Devlin leading the way for them with 6 points. No other skater with more than 3 for them. So they're looking to light it up, whereas the Red Devils, like you said, just put up 9 last weekend. So they're in the green overall on their plus-minus on the season. So the Devils firing on their offense. Thunder struggling to find the back of the net. That's what I'm going to be looking for early in this game.
Yeah, the other real positive for the Devils, their first front line between Joseph Orr, Bradley Apps, and Chris Eden. The 3 of them are, I think 29 points between them. They represent a majority of the offense for the Devils. If you take away Fontaine's numbers, and it's pretty much, that's where the offense comes from. So it'll be interesting to see how the lines match up specifically. And it's very obvious that we're happy to have Joe Orr here in red with the number 9, because he was a big pest in this building for years and years for the Thunder, and now he gets to return the favor to the team in green from Dunedin.
That is the line we've been looking at all season long for the Red Devils. The Eden Apps Orr line has been dynamite for them. Like you said, Orr has 11 points coming into the series against his old team who are struggling on the offense. Probably could have done with him. Like you said, he's tortured the Devils in this building for as long as I've been here, and then a bit longer before that. But now he's playing in red and black, looking to put up some points, get the Devils some much-needed standings points. Yeah,
and I think we do have, so Liam Dallamore's out among a couple other of the Devils, so that is all the more reason to focus on that front line. And also just to see if there are some adjustments. It's not quite the NHL where they just really swing 3 guys out there at the same time every time. You might see some individual substitutions to break that up and get some different partnerships going. We'll see how that goes this afternoon. But the time is on the clock, 20 minutes on the board. The Devils coming over to the bench area, getting set up. The Thunder have their starting 5 out there already. And I think we are pretty much ready to go. Enright, well, he's just floating around. Typically, he sits on the left, but we'll see how he lines up today. He might be right wing to start with. Yeah, sorry, I had it backwards. He's a right winger, and Dylan Devlin will be on the left side, so that'll be how that lines up. So we'll watch that as a key focus for this afternoon's match as we get going. Puck drops, and that's back to Nichols. Nichols is trying to get that in the offense, but that gets deflected back. Eden with it, comes right in, and shot to start the game. I guess we didn't really talk too much. Tim Carey starting in goal for the Red Devils. He's had a decent record this year. That is, I want to make sure we got this. We were told it was 41, so that's James Moore. and it is indeed more in net for the Thunder. That puck goes across the offensive end. Eden holding on to it at the blue line, keeps it in. Looking for Nichols to push forward. He does for a moment, holds on to it. A lot of strength holding that puck in, and that swings around back to Eden and then to Brown. Brown holds it in at the point, but turned over, and that's got to neutral. Hartford dragging that puck across for the Thunder, and it's knocked back and forth. Orr slaps it out, gets near the bench where the substitutions were, but no stoppage. Managed to miss everybody.
It's a lot of Devils on the ice just there.
Yeah, I think they had to be very careful with who was coming on and off there to avoid that penalty. And we get to play, and it looks like a 2-on-2, developing Sysho with it. He's going to come in past to Graham. Graham gets it deflected. That was a good effort for the Devils on an even man attempt, and they're going to hold on to it for just a minute here as they cycle around and look for an offensive opportunity. Through the slot, nobody home, kept in for a moment, but that's going to be turned over. No, it stays in, still stays in, and back out to neutral with Joel Keycope collecting that one for the Devils. Sysho had it for just a second. It was tipped around, and then it was collected. And it looks like Lilly had a good hit there on Tappan. Tappan gets up and goes and skates down the puck and holds on to it, keeping the Thunder at bay for just a moment. That's sent right out in front. Carey just sees it go right on by, and the Devils look to break out. That pass was pretty much to nobody. That's going to go for icing. No, it's not, because it is playable. And around she goes. A line change coming up for the Thunder, and that's knocked around and out to neutral. Perver chasing. He's going to chase down for a solid hit there. And Hartford with it. He gets a kind of a low runner in, no problem for Carey. Kicked away. I was looking for a deflection there, but nothing going. Gets into the corner of the Thunder with their first real opportunity. Hartford doing the same thing, but missing the goal there. And that's Hopkins playing that out. Hopkins not quite able to get it out of the defensive end, and a good move by the Thunder there to hold on to it. Hartford's going to take another one. Blocker save out to the netting, and we get a stop with the Thunder doing a great job, and the captain doing yeoman's work with 4 shots there.
Very important work from Carey there to get that out of play, get his teammates off the ice. They were really hemmed in there. I've seen a lot of tendency to pinch already from the Devils defenders. They look to be trying to take that option wherever possible, perhaps leaving them a little vulnerable to getting stuck in their zone like that.
As we get back underway, face-off in the defensive end, and that's Tristan Darling, the assistant captain for the Thunder, taking that one, pushed forward, no real shot on. Carey watches it go by. And I have to apologize ahead of time. The names on the Thunder shirts, they're sharp, but they are not very big. So we'll get to the numbers and figuring everybody out soon, but that's right on through, and the Devils hold on to it defensively. That's Brown with it. Shot in on Carey. Nothing really doing there, but knocked away with the glove, and play continues. That's held in. Darling doing a good job there. He got the shot initially and kept it in for a second one, out to neutral. And Regan Wilson doing something with that for a chase for Devlin. Devlin's going to come up the right side. He steals the puck for a moment, but not for very long. And knocked back around behind the net. Nichols with it as he's going to look to clear. Apps with it. Apps looking for the long pass, but that's anticipated and held in the zone. Not sure what happened here, but we have, it's a high stick being called. High sticking penalty coming, and that is going to go against Jackson Flight, I think. Yep, high sticking, 2 minutes on the board. So an early opportunity for the Devils here to try to get something going with the special teams with a what has been a generally even game to start with.
Yeah, big time break for the Devils there to get that penalty. They were stuck in their own zone. They were working so hard just to move the puck out of their own end at the moment, but now they got a chance.
Hayden Bull wins that face-off, and the Devils set up from the right point, back and forth into the corner and out. Out to Tappan to Apps. Apps sees nothing but traffic. Tipped forward. Eden looking for something up the right side. Nothing there. He goes back out to the blue line. Over to Apps again. Apps is harassed. He has to decide to dump it back or with it. Now Eden's going to go collect before it gets picked up by a defender and does a great job of holding on to possession. The box is getting a little bit tighter for the Thunder. The umbrella working well for the Devils. Back out. Long shot in. That's deflected. Good work. And Devlin's going to try to chase that down. He can't really do it, but he's going to take up some time for the Thunder. And a pass up the right side to Eden. Nobody was catching it. Up to him, and Eden gets a good shot off and a solid stop by Moore to hold on to the puck. And we still have 1:02 to go on the high sticking penalty against the Thunder.
Joe Ora's magic working down low on the power play, just keeping the puck in tight with him, dodging around defenders, feeding up back the top of that umbrella like you say, Matt, and keeping the puck alive for the Devils, creating chances.
So Jackson Fontaine out there looking for the offense with a couple of changes, and the Devils get control of the puck. A little bit of a mix-up there as far as moving forward, but they get over to Brown. Brown gets the zone up the left side. Sisho looking for the puck. He gets it. Looks out to back out to Brown. Brown takes a low shot in, looking for a deflection that's out in front, and an early whistle. That was loose, and Moore's going to be very happy that he got a very quick whistle on that one to slow up play. And we have 33 seconds left on this power play. Line change for the Thunder.
Sisho's got some good jump early in this game. Moving around fast, getting things working on that line with Jackson Fontaine, and I think Purvis out there with them, looking really good in the early going.
Yeah, Sisho's been getting more and more comfortable this season, and it really shows. Good to see how that's progressing. Brown with it, keeping it in at the point, trying to get it past his man. That was Sheard with it, and Brown does get the pass around. Sitting in that left side, shot in. That was an excellent shot from Perver. And Moore up to the task in that one, kind of closing down the stomach and holding on for dear life.
It's good work from Moore to not lose his post there. The tendency for the goalie is obviously to swing back across, stop the slot shot, stays tight to his post, gets it in his blocker, swallows it in his chest, and gets the whistle.
Yeah, and that, while that lets them change lines, there's still 16 seconds to go, and they're going to put everybody out there. Apps is going to get a hold on to it, then Orr. And Harry Lowe back to Apps, looking to try to get something off. Nichols with a long slap shot in. That comes up high and deflected. And it's back into the corner. That ends the power play. 5-on-5 hockey, but a chance for Nichols. Nichols looks for a pass, and Eden gets stopped up there by Devlin, I think it was, who had just come out of the box to disrupt everything. Nichols with a long shot. That's deflected off some shins. He's going to go back and collect while the Thunder get some fresh legs on the ice. Eden staying out there, looks like a double for him, and Hopkins out as well. The Red Devils got a couple of shots there, nothing too dangerous, but it won't take much for them to get the scoring going if they can just get Moore cracked open one time. Or with it. That's off to Apps. Apps to Eden. Eden almost finds himself the upper left, but that's deflected before it got in on Moore. Out to Mason Reese. And a long shot in. That's going to go back to Apps. He takes it down the hand. Backhander by Orr. That's deflected away. Not on target. But a good effort and a huge hit by Apps. Apps has to be careful with that because that was very close to a bit of a charge there, but he gets away with it. It was a clean hit. And we are out to the third line for the Devils trying to get something going here. Nick Stefanisson getting some ice time early here. This is good to see for him. Trying to keep it in. Can't quite do it. And the Thunder finally gain the offensive zone for the first time in a couple of minutes. Swung by away from Carey's net. He lets it go. Back out to neutral. And the back and forth we go. A very entertaining and energetic first 8 minutes of this hockey game. And back out to the Thunder. The Phoenix Thunder doing a good job. Sheard pushed it away. Now we have a call. Not sure what that call was. Did you catch that, Alex?
Maybe holding, maybe slashing. I didn't quite catch it, but it is number 86 Green going. The Devils will get another opportunity on the power play. That's Noah Gregory.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Just heard the live stream scoreboards a little bit funny today. So 11:44 to go. 2 minutes for power play for the Red Devils once again. So going right back on the penalty kill is a tired team in green as we get a face-off in the offensive zone. Anton Perver is going to take that one against Tristan Darling. And Perver wins that. Goes out to the point. Down with it. Shot in. Deflected. And Moore holds on to it. Another bit of a quick whistle there, but I think that was correct. And Saisho hanging around. There's another call. There's going to be a slash here. Not sure who's taking it.
Saisho maybe?
I don't know, but I don't think he knew what he did either. So
Saisho's going for a slash.
Yeah,
I guess that was a call after the whistle on the goalie.
Must have been because it was. He's not really sure what he was doing, but again, that was a quick whistle. But that quick whistle ended up making it a stop play, so that must have been what they called. Only a 6-second difference between the penalties, so we're going to see 4-on-4 hockey for a little while here.
Some ice for these guys to skate on.
There should be a lot of room out there, so if you thought it was fast already, they're going to move even faster. Shot in on Carey. Carey kicks it away. Rebound out in front, and Nichols is going to collect that behind. He's looking to backhand that out. He does. That's over to Graham. Graham finds some ice space out on the right side. Shot in. Off on the goal. Brown with a goal, starting it off. That was Jackson Fontaine with the speed and the pass. And that starts it out. 1-0 the score for the Devils.
Fontaine to Brown, the connection, finding the defenseman in the middle. That's essentially a tap-in for Brown on the end there. Fontaine creates that with his speed up the right wing, but joining the rush on the left, Sean Brown finishing it, tapping it in. Devils take a 1-0 lead during the 4-on-4.
Now that also does not cancel either penalty, so we continue on here with a 4-on-4. Apps, Eden, Tappan, and I think it was Graham. Not sure who's out there for the Devils. Enright's lines out there for the top four for the continued turbo pace that we're going to go at here for another minute 37.
How about Jackson Fontaine there, Matt? Just creating that.
Fontaine, just like Saisho, really doing a good job in coming into his own. I have a little bit of a soft spot for Fontaine, especially since he's American as well, but right underway, a shot in on Carey. Boy, if you blink, you might miss it. That was Billy Sheard again. Sheard trying to get something on it, but he had his stick lifted, and I'm pretty sure that was Luke Tappan that got the good defense in, giving Carey an easy stop there. And just as quickly, the Thunder looking to even this one up.
Yeah, don't put it in neutral here if you're the Devils. Play hard. This next 60 seconds counts just as much as the previous.
Yep. Sheard to take this one with Steitley out there. Had to just get Darling off the ice for 4-on-4. Not sure what took so long, but it did, and we are underway. Apps has it in the near corner, looking to get it behind the cage and work it out. In on Carey. Carey strangely takes it to the glove. I guess he was a little worried about who was near him, but we're going to stop play again and get a face-off. Fisher Ice Hockey and Spinorama New Zealand. Thank you, Fisher Ice Hockey, for supporting the 2022 Canterbury Red Devils. We appreciate your help. Face-off. Won by Apps for a, well, no, it wasn't won by Apps. It goes out to the Thunder there. He did get a stick on it, but I think it was pretty much controlled by the Thunder, and Eden has it looking for a pass out. He doesn't get it out there, and the Thunder continue. Long shot in, easy one. It actually was deflected. Carey holds on to it as it was deflected right into his mitt pretty much, and stop of play with 55 seconds to go on this 4-on-4.
The eyes don't see it, at least the Gaz got it there.
Granbull, Rees, and didn't catch the fourth on there. And I think it's going to be Ian Otis taking the face-off for the Thunder. He loses that one, but clearly the Thunder playing a little differently here, just taking a shot whenever they can. Not really troubling Carey too much, but Carey is stopping the play each time.
Carey more than happy to get these restarts here. We got about 45 seconds to play on the 4v4 before the Thunder get a brief 6-second power play. So just play this one out, see what you can do. Clear the zone if you're the Devils here.
But safely, because there is icing still. Back out to neutral. The Thunder hold on to the puck, collect it. Otis with it. Graham back to neutral here. That was with Reese. Reese gets it in the zone for a quick moment. And the Thunder work that puck all the way down. That's going to go for icing. Bit of a mistake there. I think that was slightly on that. Oh, sorry, Lilly with the long pass that got away from him. Icing coming for the Devils on the offensive end. Aotearoa Gaming Trust, funding your community. We appreciate your support of the 2022 Canterbury Red Devils. Thank you for your sponsorship. Perver to take this one in the offensive end. Thunder get a hold of it. They're going to break out 3-on-2, but instead they just go with a long pass. This is going to be another icing call here. Bit of an error on the Thunder because they actually had numbers. They throw the puck forward, but there was nobody to play it, and it's going to come all the way back. Continued 4-on-4 for another 14 seconds. The score is still 1-0 for the Devils. Devils looking to build on that lead here. Perver to take. He wins it. In by that wasn't Dam, that was Daniel Monk taking a long shot just slightly off. And that goes offsides. Ian Otis takes that in just a little bit over the blue line and play stop for a neutral ice face-off. Majors Contracting, limited 2022 sponsor of the Red Devils. Thank you, Majors Contracting, for your support.
Something to watch as the Thunder seem to want to exploit the slowness of the Red Devils defense. They like that dump and chase already. We saw it on that icing just before. So the Red Devils defense, we're going to look for them to be back in their own zone quickly.
And the Devils win that face-off, bring it forward. And that's going to end the odd mans for both teams here in just a moment. Saisho's back out on the ice. Tappan has it, so we're 5-on-5. Tappan's pass not completed. And back and forth we go at neutral. That's out to Lowe. Lowe's going to move up to Saisho. Saisho's going to get a shot and a goal! Saisho with the wrister beating him right side.
We called out Justin Saisho early in this game, Matt. He shows you why just there, just back from his penalty. He takes it in the slot, rips it between the legs, scores the Devils' second goal of the game. We're up 2-0 in the first period.
The Canadian with the quick wrister in the right spot, right out in front, in the slot, gets it home, and this is looking like a good start for the Devils here. 9:19 to go in the first period. That is a good, quick 2-goal lead for a team that is much better holding on to the lead this year. That's a good sign for the Devils. Face off at center ice. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey still. Well, it was a 5-on-5 goal for Saisho as he came out of the box. So everybody resets. Enright looking for it there for a moment for the Thunder. And that goes back out to Tane Allen. Allen gets that to the blue line, and the Thunder have a 3-on-2. Shot in. That was a dangerous shot by Matt Enright, trying to get that through, but just missed the target really, and Carey saw it the whole way. That's out to Stefanisson. He's coming up the left side with a little speed. Good dipsy-doodle move, but a pass with nobody around. It got through the slot, and the Thunder break the other way. 3-on-4. The defense changing up and getting out there, but out in front, a great pass. Fantastic pass from Gregory to Enright. Enright didn't have anything in front of him as Carey didn't follow that across. 2-1 the score. The Thunder get one back quickly with 8.5 to go.
Enright is one of the threats for the Thunder. He shows you way right there, burying that off the rush. Like we said, Thunder looking to exploit that slowness and transition from the Devils, showing it there, getting it in on the rush, feeding it back to the middle, and making this a 2-1 game.
Yeah, I honestly think
a great pass.
Slow, yes, but not that slow. I think that was actually a confusion between Brown and Nichols as to who was to pick up the man in that situation. That puck gets between them, and Enright makes no mistakes.
And we saw those 4 Red Devils players in the middle there, just not picking up their coverage, leading to that goal. And
the Thunder on the roll again. And another opportunity out in front. Devlin was looking for the same play right in the same spot. Fortunately, this time the defense took man-on-man and got a carry stop for a face-off.
They say speed kills, Matt. The Red Devils need to slow down the Thunder offense as best they can at the moment. It is tearing them apart a little bit these last few minutes.
Face-off won by the Devils. That's going to get flipped out to neutral. Wilson with it. Past Orr and into the bench. That was a kind of a zipper right at the staff there, but everybody okay, it looks like. And a face-off coming to neutral ice for restart here in just a minute. Cedra Express, Elite Medical Courier. Thank you, Cedra Express, for your sponsorship of the 2022 Canterbury Red Devils. We appreciate it. This face-off will come out to center ice or to take this one against his former team. And his former team gets a hold of that puck, and they throw it forward, but that goes back and forth. And the Devils control, look for a pass up to Eden. Eden up the left side here, looking for any kind of room. He leaves it for Brown. Brown takes a hard angle shot, takes a shot himself, gets hit, and that was a good glove by Moore.
Really good glove by Moore. That thing came across him at a rate of knots, managing to stop that, stopping it from ringing around the board and giving the Devils another chance.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would have been on target, but it sure would have been led to some more danger and good opportunity for them to stop play and get control of it. They win another faceoff. I am sensing a bit of a trend. The Thunder are winning a lot of faceoffs today so far. Darling with it, pushes it forward. Eden collects as a turnover to Apps. Apps is going to bring it up the side here, up the left, looking for speed, gets hit. It's taken out by 2 Thunder players. And ends up Audis playing himself a nice first period to start with. That gets shot in. Moore doesn't get a whistle, but well, that's because there's nobody around him in red, and they play that out. Neutral ice, not sure that was played with a high stick or not. I guess that one missed. The reaction was there. Then it's up to one of the Red Devils players who kind of just knocks it forward. I think that was Jackson Fontaine again with an opportunity to just kind of get it in on Moore, and they get a face-off.
Yeah, that was Fontaine. He was looking for his captain, Anton Pova, in the middle there. Little deep and on the goalie, but they will get that face-off in the offensive zone.
Pova to take this one as he rolls in on the dot. He's holding on for a substitution there for the Thunder. Pova wins that one, shot in. That was reminiscent of what won the game the other night, 2 weeks ago. And that's held in. Good play by the Devils to keep that in the offensive zone. And continued play. Back and forth, the good stick work by Fontaine. He's doing a great job. Gets a shot in. That's kicked away. I'm not sure if that was on target or not. And Fontaine just playing a heck of a shift, taking 2 guys on and managing the puck pretty well there. He goes out to Reese as the Thunder doing everything they can to just clear the zone there. Back out to neutral. That's turned around. That's Dodwell getting a good piece of it there. Flight is going to come in and take a shot as Dodwell was actually peeling off during a line change. Couldn't take a penalty there. And they're going to... So that's interesting. There's a conversation here. This may be a goal, depending on how this goes. That shot came around, and as the net was falling back, the puck did go in the net. But if it was caused by a Red Devil taking that off, even if it was inadvertent, that may actually count. And my guess is they're going to give a second goal here to the Thunder with just a very quick wrister and out of nowhere, surprising everybody.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think this may well stand as a goal for the Thunder, given that the Red Devils player took his own net off, and there it is. That is a second goal for the Thunder.
Yeah, I think most of the stands here are a bit surprised, but there is precedent and rules to allow them to continue to play at the net, even if it's knocked off, if there's no stoppage in play. And that's exactly what happened. And Carey having a discussion with the linesman about why that happened, but that is a goal for the Thunder. 2-2 the score with just over 6 minutes to go. The Thunder just not giving up right away. This is going to be a fast, high-scoring game, it looks like, with a lot of back and forth. And the Devils have got to figure out how to slow down a bit of the Phoenix Thunder offense. Do we know who scored that goal?
I didn't see it, but that puck came out of play, so that is somebody's first NZIHL goal in all likelihood.
Yeah, that's what I saw as well. So I don't know who had that one there. We'll have to get that stat to you shortly. But Atkinson with it, he's going to just throw it in.
Whoa!
Oh, that one came off. Was that off the post?
Off the post.
It was off the
Very
post.
flush, straight back out.
Yeah, I thought for a minute I thought it hit the board back there as I was a little bit covered up, but that came right off the pipe. More expecting that to miss, and it didn't by much. Well, I guess, well, he had it covered, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's not a shot on goal, but sure enough, everybody gasped in the arena. And the Devils continue on there. That was Lowe with a pass in and a deflection going out of play. That's Harry Lowe, of course, just not to be confused with Josh Lowe, 24. Harry Lowe is 74, just to make sure that everybody can barely tell the difference between the two of them. They wear the same last number. But I think that shot, it really, I don't know that there's any excuse for what Moore did there. He just plain missed it.
Yeah, it took everyone by surprise, Matt.
So a lucky break for the Thunder there. That, just as the other one just kind of went in, that one could have. Tapping with, trying to, well, he fanned on that shot there, doing everything he can to get that turned over. Devlin with it. He's going to take it in for the Phoenix Thunder, and that puck is corralled by Joseph Orr. Not for long, though, and Devlin's going to turn that right back in up the right side. Tappan thrown into the boards there, but does a good job defensively, and Eden ends up with it. He's looking to get that out, and he does, just barely. Passed back into the zone by the Devils for the defense, and to try to get things going. You see 3 forecheckers here, and again, I think the Thunder are going to decide to try to play that high forecheck again. That shot went right, Darling with it. That went off Carey's shoulder, missed the glove. Shoulder, after it bounced off his shoulder, hit the crossbar, bounced up and into the netting. Another close one for the Thunder.
Sloppy from the Devils here. They haven't been able to get it out of their own zone so well. They're missing passes in their own end. Just really non-competitive gameplay for a little bit here from the Devils. Hope to turn this around as soon as they can.
Yeah, and they've done a pretty good job this year of kind of reversing their trend of having a hard time getting out defensively, which has been good, but it's clear that the Thunder have decided to play last year's game plan and throw 3 forward and see what happens, roll the dice. And so far, it's actually turned up to be a good choice for their strategy thus far. The Red Devils need to do something to kind of shake them out of it and counterattack, and they just can't do it yet. And that pass goes all the way through neutral ice. And into the far corner. Graham doing a good job pushing against the boards there and keeping the puck in, but that is collected by the Thunder, and then it goes back out. Reese, well, no, it wasn't Reese going after. That goes behind the net, and a quick wraparound. Carey there for the stop, but that's a good opportunity for Jack Lewis to try to get something on that. Just kind of smashed it into the pad, though, because Carey got back.
There's just tenacious forecheck from the Thunder again. Just creating an opportunity, sprinting down, following that puck, making sure it's not iced, getting a shot on goal from it. Just from the Devils, you can't have that off the rush every time.
Now Lilly gets that shot in and gets deflected immediately, and another push shot into Carey, and Carey covers up. But with just over 4 minutes to go, the Thunder dictating here for the last several minutes. Face off in the defensive end for the Devils. They lose that one again. Lilly's got it. Now it's forward to Enright. Enright's going to get a shot. That is a heck of a shot that just didn't quite get under the bar. Caught netting, but it was the outside. And Enright looking for his second. And that goes out of play. That is going to be offside, so it's kept alive. Dodwell with it, he passes it again. A shot in, right over the goal. That was quite a shot. And really Fontaine doing everything right. He just didn't get it on target there. Perver with a shot right out in front. Backhand. Dodwell with another opportunity. Perver trying to hold on to it. Dodwell. And a continued offensive opportunity for a lot of Red Devil offensive time. Stick goes flying. That doesn't go out of the zone. Back to Fontaine. Fontaine with a wrister. Moore covers up, and a great sequence for the Devils.
How has nothing gone in there, Matt? That was a great sequence for the Devils. Started by Jackson Fontaine, creating all by himself for a bit, then getting back up from his team, creating in close, trying to get it through the goalie, not quite being able to do so, but still a great sequence for the Devils.
Yeah, another situation with a goal off its pegs, too. That's I don't know if that has to do with the weather. I mean, it's been pretty mild here. It's been 14 degrees, but it has been raining. The puck's not bouncing, so I don't really think that's it. I just think there's been a lot of goals knocked off and charging the crease. Another face-off won by the Thunder, becoming statistically very significant. Apps has it. They held it in. Apps need and keep it in the zone. Then Tappan tries to, but they call that offsides, and that's going to come out to neutral.
That is great work from the backup goalie of the Thunder there. Shot created that offside from the bench.
That's a good point. A good point. Spark Business Hub Christchurch. Spark is a 2022 sponsor of the Canterbury Red Devils. We really appreciate your support, Spark. And we're going to go to face-off neutral with Orr top line out there for the Devils. We'll see if we can get something. It's 2-2, and that goes all the way back and sent around over to Apps. Apps is looking to keep it out of that right side there where the Thunder just collapse on it. Devlin's got it. Devlin's pass goes kind of into the middle again. And that whole setup with Tristan getting in there and Reed, again, a dangerous opportunity, and the Devils looking to kind of just get the puck out and get something started, having trouble doing so. Reed with it. No, that actually was, sorry, that was Tristan Darling again. And then Apps collects that as an errant pass comes out to kind of the middle of the area, and then Eden comes up the left side with some speed. He passes it. Second pass, that goes to, gets across Orr. Orr was looking for the shot. His stick was lifted. The puck goes right through, and it was like a perfect dummy pass, and that shot gets deflected and knocked up into the netting again.
Yeah, got through to Abs, but found a defensive stick on the way through, deflected out of play, but a nice 3-on-2 chance there for the Devils.
Well, it's all happening very quickly here. That's Hayden Bull taking that one face-off one. Graham with a shot, but nothing doing. Reese is going to hold it in. He flips it back to the corner, but into the Thunder sticks, and off they go. Stightly with it for just a moment. Goes back to Allen, to Lewis. And Reese loses that one. Lewis up the right side, all alone in the Lewis goes for the pass, and all the defenders were covered up there. Probably he's going to want that one back when he sees it on tape for the shot. Matt Graham holding on to it. Seisho was interfered with. No call that we see yet. No, he's apparently the puck was close enough to him. And that's ridden around by Graham. Graham right out in front, can't do anything with it. Lowe with a good check to hold that puck in. That's going to allow the Devils to get fresh legs out. Stightly takes it up, gains the zone 1-on-4. He dumps and chases, and that's going to go over to Regan Wilson. Can't hold on to it for very long. 3-on-2 developing, 2-on-2. Out to, well, that was an interesting situation with Jackson Fontaine getting his stick slashed, but I guess it was
look at Brown go.
Yes, he is. Shot in front. And Fontaine looking for anything near the goal mouth. Nothing coming for it, and Enright comes all the way back. Flight throws it in. Enright looks for it. That's going to come out to Carey. Carey's not, well, I'm not really sure what he did there. Did he glove that?
Yeah, it looks like he got it, one way or the other.
Yeah, because I thought he just had it with his paddle up against the goal there, and I wouldn't expect a whistle, but it must have been in his glove there, so Face-off coming in the offensive end for the Thunder. 34 seconds to go. 2-2 the score.
Something to watch. Sean Brown, after dangling there, came straight off the ice, so he may be a little banged up.
Okay. So 2-on-3 opportunity here for the Devils. Dodwell right out in front as Fontaine collects the puck. He sends it around. It goes to Perver. Back to Dodwell. That's kind of near Moore there for a moment. Bounced around, but then came right out to one of the Thunder players. And Sheard not able to do anything with it. It goes out of play on a deflection. Play stops with 11 seconds to go on the clock. Not much time to go here in the first. A frantic first period that has definitely had ebbs and flows. It's not just been turbo the whole time. The ice has been slanted both directions for good chunks of the period. And 2-2 the score. Essentially kind of an even match so far. Face-off won by the Devils. Apps is going to throw it out. It's going to get to neutral. Eden's with it. He's going to look for one opportunity here as that goes up to Orr. Orr can't get it. He's going to try to get a shot off. He can't. That is the period. First period over with. And everybody coming off the ice. 2-2 the score. With the opportunities and everything and shots that have been there, I wouldn't have predicted 2-2 being the score if I hadn't seen anything else.
Yeah, what an interesting period of hockey we just had, Matt. We talked about coming into the game the lack of offense from the Thunder, which looks to be not a problem tonight. They're creating lots, whether it's off the rush or pinning the Devils in and creating turnovers on their offense. They are getting their chances, as are the Devils, especially Saisho and Jackson Fontaine, both looking really good so far through one. Still got plenty of hockey to play, and if the first period's anything to go from, we're in for a good one tonight.
Yeah, a lot of neutralization between both first lines, doing a good job kind of canceling each other out. But the everybody else, boy, they're looking for opportunities that we weren't seeing in prior games, and they're coming through tonight. So 2-2 the score. We're going to leave you for a few minutes here as we go to first intermission here from Christchurch, New Zealand. Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. The Phoenix Thunder 2, the Canterbury Red Devils 2. See you soon. Kia ora koutou. Welcome back, everybody, to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. Today's commentary crew. My name is Matt Chavez. I'm here with Alex Canty. And Alex, if you don't mind, I'll just go through the goals quickly here. It's funny, they all happened within about a 5-minute period. And that was Sean Brown from Matheson, Graham, and Fontaine for the first one at 8:39. Sisho from Bull and Graham at 10:41. Enright from Gregory at 11:28. And then Jackson Flight unassisted at 13:42. So a flurry right in the middle there. The 2-2 the score, and it's just been a surprising start.
Yeah, ebbs and flows all through that first period, like we mentioned, Matt. No one really dominated, but both teams had their periods of dominating. So it'll be good to see who gets off to a fast start here in period number 2.
And Enright's deciding he wants a fast start as he gets a shot on carry already, and that shot kind of gets deflected off into the corner, and the Devils finally break out with some offense. Eden taking it over the line, getting a pass across, and Orr not able to get a hold of it. Otherwise, he was free and clear. That puck stuck in the sideboards. That goes out to neutral, and the Devils collect. Brown's got it, and they're going to set up again with he and Nichols in the defense. Top line, and the Thunder looking again for a 3-person forecheck when it goes behind the cage. And thus far, it's been mildly effective, and they are running that out again for the second period.
Yep, they'll show you why that becomes effective again right here, Matt, as they get another shot on goal as a result of that forecheck.
Yeah, now Devlin's shot led to a big deflection, and Eden's got a shot in on Moore. And that's a bit of chaos right out in front. So a good counter attack for the Devils to make them think twice about leaving quite so many people forward. Nichols gets a hold of that and turned over with a big dump of players right in the high slot area. And that pass not quite across, trying to get that out of the corner. I think that was Dodwell, not sure.
I think that was Brown pinching way down there.
Yeah, it sure was, you're right. That goes out, get the line, and right out in front, Ian Audis with the opportunity in front of Carey's net. And then that pass goes through the slot to nobody home. And right around the corner, back to the behind the net. Graham takes it out to the sideboards. Graham still trying to stuff away at that, and they do get it out, looking for a chip pass. It works out for Sisho. Sisho gains the line up the right side, leaves it for Bull. He's going to get an easy shot and a goal. Hayden Bull with the third.
Snipe show there from Hayden Bull, getting it under the glove of the goalie, slotting it home as a result of that pass from Fontaine, who creates down the right wing. That's another play from Fontaine there, being instrumental in that one, feeding to Bull for the great finish, putting the Devils back on top early in period number 2.
For about 2 minutes, the top line held the fort and did all right. And as soon as it goes over to the second line, they break out and get an opportunity to put the Devils back on top. So good teamwork by the Devils' top 2 lines. Since they were just out there, I think number 2 is going to stay out for a little bit. Fontaine having a good old time. Oh, if you can see him here. Oh, who is that? Fontaine, and is that Connor Rolfe?
That is Connor Rolfe there. Playing a little shinny before the game gets going.
Like a dog on a piano, right? Oh, we shouldn't do that, but we did. That is an icing call against the Devils there, so that's going to go across the way. 18 minutes to go here in the second period. 3-2 with a quick goal for the Devils, starting this out on the long shifts in a good way. Face-off coming, that's going to be Jackson Flight winning that one, but it's turned over quickly and a shot in as that's turned back. And looks like Carey's just going to hold on to it, and somebody has a broken stick. Identifiable by the pink tape on it. Not sure whose that is, but somebody will know exactly who's going to have a $350 bill there. Face off in the offensive zone for the Thunder. They lose that one, and the Devils come out hot. 2-on-3 though. Fontaine with it. He's going to come in. He get it his way to the right there, and his line mate Dodwell thought he was going straight in. Dodwell offside.
Yeah, Dodwell a little too quick on the trigger there, but that's another Fontaine play where you can just see it developing right out of the middle of the ice. He gets it going, spins it up. He's through there. He's got a good chance if he gets onside.
Yeah, it was a good choice. Even to take the offside, it really relieved some pressure, and they were 2 on 3. That was just a missed pass. Brown looked up, didn't see it, shot in. That's off target, fortunately, as that one came in burning by Carey's right ear. And that gets bumped up by Gregory into the netting, so that should come out to neutral ice here. If I'm not mistaken, it will, I think. And Thunder having to try that one again. Sheard's going to get another chance at this. He kind of wins it, but throws it into the Devils there, and that's turned around by Monk. But Monk couldn't get it out, and going to have to chase again. Atkinson looking for the puck here. He throws at it. Can't control it. Bounces around, and that's all. No, it wasn't Enright. That was Gregory in that case for the Thunder trying to hold on to it. They've done a good job in that corner, just digging and mucking away. That's out to Blair. Blair at the point. He's going to send it back through. Back to that same corner where the Thunder have set up shop. Knocked down by, I think that was Monk that just threw it right out of the crease. And a high shot in, looking for a deflection. Enright not able to do anything with it. And that goes out to Stitley. And is that was Atkinson hurt on that play?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah, it looked like he took a puck randomly there. But Stitley sends it around. He's looking for Devlin. Devlin's got it. And there's a forecheck by the Devils, 3 players up.
Oh,
that comes in right on the net. Apparently maybe it got knocked off. They did stop play.
No change.
No change allowed.
I guess the goalie knocked the net off.
Yeah, so that is an intentional. So they're going to hold the line change off for the Thunder. Good call, Alex. That's a. They did come over and say that right away. So that's going to leave the top line for the Devils out there against a bit of a tired Thunder lineup.
Yeah, it was a really good play from Joe. Nearly stuffed it in at the net post, and if nothing else, gets an offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah, and they hold it in for just a moment, and they do circle around. Orr holds on to it, looking for a wrister. Kind of pulled it back for a moment, but then lost it and didn't get any real mustard on that shot. But it is controlled for a little bit. Ian Otis has it now. He's gained the zone for the Thunder. And a bit passive by the Devils, but it works out with Joe Orr getting a hold of the puck, and he's going to be able to break out here. Gets caught in the lineman's skate, so a deflection, Atkinson with it. And pass forward.
Defensive pinch nearly costing the Devils again there, just managing to avoid that turnover.
Yeah, that was Keocope, not Atkinson. Got the 26 and 28 backwards. That out to Lilly. Lilly has it at neutral, and the Thunder set up. Off to Lewis. Lewis holds on to it, skates more. Almost gives it up to Orr. And Reese looking to knock his person off, and the Thunder looking for an interference call, didn't get one. That's a quick turnover right in front of Carey. Fortunately, a stick got in the way of a hard shot. Lily's got it now at the point. That's passed around, turned over. Devils looking to break out.
Oh, Bull nearly finds Eden.
Yeah, almost hit him on the tape, but just a deflection shot in. That came off Carey's right shoulder, bounced hard, and Apps controls, looking to break out. They get 3 players up front again, so they're looking to break out and break the forecheck. Graham does it this time. It gets out behind the cage. He avoids a high shot there, but that's turned over. He is slippery as an eel there, and that gets all the way around to Sysho. Sysho's all alone. He's going to have a choice of what to do. He takes it closer to the cage, stays behind, looks for a pass, goes out to the point on the left side. That gets back in by Reese, turned by Sysho. Sysho with a good wrister, and Moore seeing it. If he had anybody in front there's no chance, and that's a goal. But instead, Moore with a good glove save, denying Sysho a goal.
The Justin Sysho game, Matt. He's all over the place today.
Between Sysho and Fontaine, they've just really been pushing this whole thing, and I think it's just the Thunder just don't have that second line capability. It's just not paid off yet. Fontaine trying to take a quick wrister. That gets bounced off a shin. It comes all the way out to Enright. Enright back to Enright.
Oh.
Good back and forth play by the Thunder. A good give and go. Almost a wide open net for Enright, but it didn't get back to him in time. And their offense is it's quick on that first line if you let them go. And I think that's one where Fontaine, if he doesn't hit the shins and get a funny bounce, nothing like that's happening. But when they do get a bounce, they jump all over it.
Yeah, that really fast back and forth there. Almost back on the tape of Enright. He would have likely buried his second of the night, but instead it stays a 3-2 game.
And Nichols has that, and they're going to work out of the zone. Fontaine had it for a second. That's deflected away from him. Gregory gets it up to one of his teammates.
That pass from Enright was great.
That was brilliant, and that's going to go up. They're going to look for a penalty. I don't think they get one here.
It hit the roof,
It hit the roof. Yeah, it hit the roof. House rules are that's just a stoppage in play. It stays in the zone, but it is not a direct out pass for the 2 minutes that they were looking for. But I have to say, and Gregory's up there. He's making the case. He said, look, if it hit the roof here, it definitely would have gone out, but that's not how it works here apparently. House rules, I guess. So something's got to benefit the home team once in a while, I think. But the Thunder looking for their first victory of the year, and you can tell they think that this is where it can come. Lowe to take the face off. That's Harry Lowe in this case. And about to kick somebody out of the face-off circle at this rate, and I think that's going to happen here. That's a warning, and they did. I think they tossed Devlin out for that one. No, that's a full-on penalty.
Wow.
Wow.
Doesn't see that often.
No, that is a direct delay of game for not putting the stick down, apparently. And Dylan Devlin and the linesman are having a discussion. It's going one direction only, but that does not happen often. It's that was deliberate, and I think he was trying to make a point. So that wasn't Devlin. Who was it, Wilson that took that?
That was Darling that went for 2 minutes.
Darling went for the 2 minutes, sorry. Got the name wrong on that one. But you just don't see that. You follow the instructions the lineman gives you at the face-off. That could be a turning point. Power play here. Brown's got it. Sent to Apps. Apps got his shot deflected. He's going to hold it in on the far point. And that's turned back out to the Thunder, who knock it down for a not icing because it is a power play. With a minute 45 to go. Alex, did you catch what they announced? Was it a
delay of game, I think. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, it was a delay of some sort, so delay of game makes sense. Eden's going to gain the line. He skates through, and everybody else moves forward. The Thunder are extended in that box. They're a little caught out here, so shot in. Brown takes a shot, long shot. Sorry, that was Orr. And then Apps has it. So, no, that was Brown. You had that one right. He sits and waits on it. That's deflected way up and out of the netting as it goes off of Devlin's skate or stick. Not sure which, but it goes up in. That is going to be an offensive face-off for the Devils, but everybody gets a change. Minute 12 to go on the power play.
Interestingly, the Thunder still look like they wanted to forecheck aggressively when the Devils had it in their own end there. Even when they're down a man on the penalty kill, they're still looking to abuse the Devils' back line.
Yeah, so far in the second period, it hasn't really happened. It doesn't have to happen many times, but thus far, for the Thunder on the second. And that's going to be a breakaway, 2-0. They're going to skate back. Eden's going to get there in time. No, not in time, and a heavy shot. Did Carey touch that one, or did it go straight out?
It looked like it was straight over, just a straight-up miss there.
Just rolled right up the stick and didn't get anything on it. And barreling into Tim Carey. That was a dangerous play.
Yeah, that's Enright there,
yeah.
I think. It looks to be okay, just a little slow to get up, so we like that for him.
Yeah, it's good, but he did definitely pull an Evel Knievel there, show my age a little bit. And yeah, the head first towards the goalpost is not really ideal for most
that's
things.
Never fun.
No. So they're checking him out on the bench at the moment, just to make sure his bell didn't get rung. And there is still a power play going here. It's out to neutral. Sheard's going to take the face-off for the Thunder. And he loses that one, and Fontaine's going to collect. Second line for the power play for the Devils up to Perver, and they're going to look to break this one out. Back to Fontaine. Fontaine looking for a pass. He makes that in the neutral. Back to Fontaine. He's going to get it up the right side with a little speed. Looking for a pass as he breaks to the corner. Goes back out to Nichols. Nichols across the way. He's going to get a pass and a shot. I think that was Graham with that one. Heavy shot, but it hit the glass, and that's going to get sent all the way back. Carey's going to look at it and let somebody else collect it.
Look at that forecheck.
That is a fantastic forecheck. Was that it just held things up for just a minute here, but that gives the opportunity a line change for the Thunder that would not have otherwise happened. I've got to get the number on that, because if that was, I think that was, well, I'm not sure if that was Enright or not. I don't think so. But nonetheless, great aggressive play by the Thunder, and that has allowed this to expire the penalty. 5-on-5 now, and that goes all the way to Nichols. Nichols flips it back out to neutral, skips everybody low with a quick stick move off to Fontaine. Couldn't really hold on to it. It bounced over his stick. He looks for a long pass. That's interrupted by the Thunder. 2-on-3. They're looking to break out. Nichols backs off. Gregory looking for a passing lane, and that goes right by everybody. Out to neutral again. Thunder looking for some sort of retribution here. Nichols to collect. And that's going back out to neutral. Nichols with it, holding on to it. Another heavy forecheck opportunity, and that's flipped forward from Alex Dam. Doesn't quite get there when it hits the backboards, but nonetheless, good play by the Devils to chase forward. Dam's got it now. He's behind the net, looking to get it to Eden. It's an interesting lineup. Hopkins is out there as well. This is really a broken up 5 for the Devils, trying to change things up a little bit. And Eden holds on to it for a long time, looking for somebody to pass to, but he can't. That's a whiff of a pass by the Thunder off the sideboards. The Devils are kind of backing off a little bit. Dam looking to hold it in for just the last second, but they can't. Out to neutral.
That's so good from the Dam line there. They created so much time and space for their team.
It really did. Eden's going to throw it in, and his double shifting's also paying off. Orr's back out, regular front line, and that goes forward to Darling. Darling's sitting back. He's got a heavy shot here, but he doesn't get to use it. And that's knocked away. Back to Lilly. Lilly's going to take that up the left side. Had a chance to go all the way through, but held up at the sideboards. Flipped in shot. That hit Carey in the arm there, and I think that was Darling with another heavy one against Carey. Carey up for it in that case.
Carey doing a really good job managing his rebounds so far through this game. Shots like that, they can be spilled for rebounds, giving the Thunder more chances than just the one initial one. But he's doing a really good job, especially off of his blocker hand, getting it up, getting it out of play, getting the whistle for his team.
And we're halfway through the second. Still 3-2 this score. Not much different than kind of how the first period went, in the sense there was just one goal, and then the flurry is about to come. But we'll see if that happens here. Sysho's lines out, and the Devils win that face-off and go quickly with Graham up the left side, trying to gain some speed. He does. Goes up, holds up the sideboard, looks for a pass. That gets turned over, back out to neutral, and they're going to have to recollect. Brown fakes the pass, then he goes over to Monk. Monk's pass is intercepted, and they're onside there. Thunder with a good opportunity, and then out in the slot again, but Sysho's going to collect. He's going to come up the right side, 1-on-2, and good move, putting it right past Lilly and collecting in the corner. Graham's going to check there, and Sysho digging away to keep the puck near the Moore goal. That comes out to neutral again, 1-on-2. Devlin with it. He spins around. He's going to gain the zone, looking for a pass. Audis not there, so he shoots over Carey's net, hits the glass and comes around. And Audis trying to work through, but he's interrupted as he goes through the slot. And it's out to Reed. Reed gets a deflection, a big deflection and a goal. That was a freak play that works out perfectly for the Thunder. Reed kind of shoots one in, it gets deflected, goes off a leg, goes behind the boards, carries in a bad spot, and it bounces right to another player who knocks it in. I think it was Audis, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is Audis on the goal scorer in there.
All right,
Ian Audis.
Yeah, and a quick replay there. You can see it kind of goes towards the back of the net, just goes around and then swatted back in. Perfect timing for somebody. I think Audis needs to buy a lottery ticket tonight.
Yeah, unfortunate bounce for sure, but you got to give credit to Audis. Right place, right time. The 16-year-old notches a goal here in the second period.
Great work there, and we continue on with the Thunder back on the offense. Out to Blair. Blair at the line. He's going to take a long shot in and a goal! Another strange deflection, but another shot in by Blair. Did you catch who got the tip there?
No, I did not. He'll skate through the bench right here.
Here it is. We're going to find out. The big orange.
Sheared.
Yeah, it was Sheared. The big orange mouthpiece by Sheared. That came from Blair. Blair's going to take a low swinging shot in, and it's just deflected. Nothing Carey can do about it. Didn't see it. Just a perfect deflection, a redirection. We won't call it a deflection. It's a redirection by Sheared, and 4-3 is the score with just over 8.5 to go in the second period.
Looked like stick top of Carey's goal pad and then roofed it into the goal. So unfortunate bounce for the Devils, but again from the Thunder, right place, right time.
Yeah, well, you can't be in the right place at the right time if you don't get offensive options, and that's what the Thunder are doing right now. Hopkins is going to collect, but before that happens, I think they're going to call that an ice, so we're going to call all the way back. So we'll go through our sponsors here. Fisher Ice Hockey, Aotearoa Gaming Trust, Majors Contracting, Cedra Express, Spark New Zealand, and Go Media. Thank you for sponsoring this afternoon's telecast of the Canterbury Red Devils here at the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. Or wins that face-off, shot in by Eden. That gets a little low, didn't get everything on it. Swept back in. Is that Reese out there with that on the right?
Yeah, it looks like Reese.
Yeah. That's another kind of playing around. Coach Korozov definitely mixing up the lines today, try to get the most out of everybody. And it looks like Eden's going to come straight up, take a good shot. Wrister off to the left of Moore. Missed it right. And 4-3 the score here. The Phoenix Thunder looking for their first victory of the campaign this year. And playing and getting every break.
Yeah.
That's a goal. Another funny bouncer. Was that Eden with that?
It looks like Eden, yeah.
That was another one where his stick was hit. Gets a funny bounce. One bounce off the ice, comes up and gets past Moore. It's 4-4. I've not seen this many fluky goals in quite some time.
Is that a puck or a basketball, Matt? It is bouncing all over the place at the moment. Yeah. Finding the back of the net at both ends off funny bounces. You take that if you're the Devils. The game's level at 4-4 here with 7:41 to play in the period.
Yeah, so shot right out in front. Again, if you're in the offensive end, you put the puck towards the net, something might happen, and today everything's happening. 4-4 the score. Face-off won by the Thunder, and they're going to get back underway. Passed over to Sysho. Sysho with a flip that stays just inside. Flight's going to collect it. He sends it back to neutral. Nichols looks for the dump, and the chase is on. Graham looking for it, but can't get there. It's sent around. Sysho's going to get a hit there, and Nichols is going to check his man. And that's played forward. That actually, Bull got hit, and that was such a hard hit. It actually opened the gate for the players there. Fanning closes it as he's the backup today. Good work to Niall Fanning by shutting the door on the Thunder.
There's a little known quirk of the Alpine Ice Center here. The doors, they'll do that from time to time.
So Nichols throws it in, and we continue with play. That is Dodwell with it in that near corner, and then dragged around out to the point. Shot in, that's a turnover, but it didn't stay on the stick of the Thunder player. It was offsides, though, so we had to get everybody clear. Lily's going to get there first, but Pervers knocked it away from him. Fontaine chases. Fontaine holds on to it. Fontaine moves behind the net. Fontaine looks for a pass. He gets it to the point. Then another pass to the point, but it turns out Tappan was already moving. Rolf with it. He takes it through, gains the zone, but it's turned right back out. Skating away with it. That is Dodwell with a lot of stick work for him. Tappan with a low shot. And that's turned over for the Thunder. That's going to come right back at the Devils. Audis with it for the moment. They gain the zone. Darling's on the other side. They look for a long pass that was a little too high, and it got caught up in Darling's skate, and that goes out to neutral. The Thunder have to reset. That's passed forward. Brown with it. He's going to collect the puck behind the net, off the glass, around the dasher, over to Darling. It's turned over to Eden. Eden's going to come up on it. Looks to get a shot. He actually took the stick right out of Darling's hand, I think it was. No, sorry, Harford's hand. And there's a call coming. That's going to be a trip. They need to get the puck touched here. And there it is. That's control for the Devils. But Eden's going to go on a hook or a trip, depending. Yeah, it is a trip. And the Thunder are going to be on the power play with just over 5 minutes to go in this second period. 4-4 the score, all knotted up.
There's Harry Lowe going for that. As easy as they come, that call. That is as clear as day.
Yeah.
Easy for the ref. Pick that one up. 2-minute power play here for the Thunder.
Sorry, you said that was Harry Lowe?
Harry Lowe went,
Okay,
yes.
sorry. Missed the number on that one. Harry Lowe's off. And 5-on-4 for the Thunder coming up here. It's good to have you, Alex. I need you to make sure that the quality control is good and you are on top of it. I appreciate it. Shot in by the Thunder and gloved away by Carey. That was Otis with a wrister in. And that's turned over to Graham. Graham's going to have 1-on-2. He's going to take the shot. No shorty there. That goes around the dasher, and that's going to be Tristan Darling holding up for a bit. Devlin up on the left side. Devlin continues up that left side as he's trying to get some speed going and some movement, but they are very passive on this, not looking to turn that around. They're looking to set up. Walked it in. That's off the post. A good wrister for the Thunder there. Not sure, I didn't get the name on that one. Harford with it for the moment. That goes back to Otis. Otis has it at the point. He passes it around. That's out in the middle there and sent all the way back. Good play by the Devils to get a line change here that they desperately needed with 1:05 to go on the power play. A 4-line pass, that is icing.
That is not icing somehow.
Somehow that's not icing. You can still be called icing if you have 5 players on the ice, but that was not called for some reason. Somebody could have played that apparently, so they continue on with the Thunder power play. And Devlin has it up close, and that was a tough one for Carey to get across. I'm not sure he, well, it looks like a defender lost a stick there. I was going to say maybe the shot broke a stick, but maybe it was chopped away. Bouncing again. Thunder continue with some options. Behind Carey, they got him turned around. He can't see it. Now it goes behind him to the left. He sees it out front. It goes out to the point. Shot in. And that misses everything by Devlin. Harford with it. He's got to take it out to neutral. And there's another penalty coming here. And that's going to hold. It's going to stay with the... well, you got to call that because that's possession. But a bit of an unsportsmanlike. It looks like...
Yeah, it's Mason Reese taking
Reese.
that. The man with the broken stick.
Yeah, I think he was pretty upset about something and let everybody know about it. So technically we're going to have a 5-on-3 coming up, but that 5-on-3 is only for 4 seconds. So that should expire fairly quickly. The face-off itself is going to be a bit tricky. Just over 3.5, or just under 3.5 to go. And I'm not sure if somebody called a timeout here or we're just taking our sweet time, but no, I think there's the timeout. I think that was just waiting and kind of getting the most out of those 30 seconds there, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of milling around from both teams there, trying to work out their lineup.
Yeah, surprisingly, that timeout comes from the Thunder in this case. Usually that happens by the defense trying to catch their breath and make sure they have the right people on the ice. In this case, the Thunder looking to try to get something out of this. It really is a moment in their season where they can turn things around for themselves and get something out of it. Or, you know, it can be a missed opportunity again, which has been kind of the story of their season thus far.
Just looking down at the Thunder huddle here, and it's Matt Enright taking control of that huddle there, barking orders at his team, setting up the power play here, so credit big number 10 with whatever's about to happen.
Enright, Devlin, Darling, Otis, and Harford out for the team in green.
That is quite a line.
That is a line. That is everything they've got for 2 minutes. And the Devils are going to have 3 players to start. Nichols and Eden out there, I think probably with Apps on the other side, or no, Brown, sorry. And they win the faceoff, and then out comes the 4th player. shot in, and that goes right in on Carey.
Big from Tim Carey to solo that there with the man just coming back onto the ice, making it a 5-on-4, so the Devils can make sure they have the right players out there.
Yeah, that was low coming out of the box, but he's going to stay out there, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I actually thought that they were going to pull him off, but that he's going to stay out there for the 5-on-4. And the Thunder underway with a big offensive opportunity for them to see how they can finish this second period. They win the face-off. It stays in the corner, back out to the point. They set up with another sort of an umbrella, but that gets turned right around. Nichols gets a hold of it, flips it gently up over center ice. And the Devils don't make any changes. They stay with their crew as the Thunder look to get some speed coming out of here. They come up the right side looking for a pass. Everybody holds up. Good defense there. Hartford with it. He's looking around. That's up to Audis. Audis has it. He's going to break the red line there, center line, and that gets bounced around. Nichols didn't go after that one there, and it gets sent into the corner. Harlan with it. Off to Devlin. Darling, excuse me. Darling with a high shot. That came back funny off the boards. You wouldn't expect it to come that direction, but it did. Devlin at the point. Long shot in on Carey, and Carey gets it right in the middle of the sweater. I'm pretty sure they want that Devlin would want that shot back because it was right in the middle, and Carey holds on to stop things with 57 seconds to go on the power play.
Devils allowing a pretty free lane for that shot through there, allowing even the Thunder player to create somewhat of a screen in front, even though Carey saw that all the way.
And back we go, Wilson with it. Regan Wilson sending that towards the net, but that gets bounced right back out. And the Devils hold on to it for just a moment. Wilson with it, he holds it in at the point, looking for it. Gets played by Fontaine. Fontaine causing trouble for both players out there on the left. Passed all the way through the slot. That shot's over Carey's head. Carey's got to regain his stick. Wilson's looking around. He can't do anything with it. Flight with it. Flight in front. He slams it against Carey, but that gets bounced out to the side. Sent all the way down. 17 seconds to go on the power play. The last stand here for the team in green as they try to get through here. Gregory with it. He's kind of tripped up. Sysho gets a hold of the puck. Then back to Sheard. And Sheard's got it, and that expires the power play for the Thunder. 5-on-5 hockey. Reese stays out there. Coach says, stay out there, Mason. And that gets turned right over to him. And the Devils get to reset. Hopkins sends it forward up to Brown. Brown gets it kicked away, and Hopkins is going to go chase. The Thunder look to get their top line back out there, Audis and Darling. Minute to go in the second period. Reese with it. He comes up the right side. Big slap shot. That hit the post. I don't think Moore had anything to do with that. A penalty coming. And another one holding the stick is the call.
Yeah.
I am pretty sure that's going against the Thunder here.
Yeah, it looks like that's on Hartford there. So Devils with a bit of an opportunity to take the lead. 48 seconds to go. They take the power play after a good kill, all things considered, to keep it level.
Yeah, I think Hartford actually made, there aren't many things you call a good penalty, but that one may have actually held up what was quite an opportunity coming up that left side for Moore. So with 48 seconds on the clock officially, this is one of those bisecting penalties coming up. Perver to take. He's looking to get that back to Tappan. He does. Tappan's got it. He goes back to the point, looks to set up. The box is a little out and heavy for the Thunder. Right out in front, Sysho with 3 taps at it, and he's knocked over. And another big shot. The Thunder, this is going to go a little bit haywire here. There's a hat coming off, and a couple of them are really going after it here. Sysho with it. Yeah, that is a full-on. There are some linemen doing their very best to keep, that's Tristan Darling going at it. I think there were some people that were getting hurt down there.
Yeah, some overhands through the linesman there between Sysho and Darling. That is a heavy fight.
That was a real honest-to-goodness fight, and I don't think Sysho was looking to fight in general.
He's lit the building on fire, Matt.
He has, but it was really a slash that came in on him that he was not thrilled about. And they're still having words across the way. They're having a couple of officials have to stay in front of them. I don't think they're going to be coming back out on the ice at all this afternoon. So the 38 seconds to go on the clock for the second period.
Now, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that completes the Gordie Howe hat trick for Justin NZIHL today.
You're not wrong. I think that's a goal and an assist, and on top of all of that, a fight. So there's going to be some major discussions. This isn't just a 5-minute kind of thing that the NHL has. This has implications for multiple games, and we'll see where this goes. They have to be very careful taking the players off a certain way. That's going to be Darling going off the ice one direction. NZIHL is going to stay there for a minute, and the equipment comes off the ice. You don't see that often in this league.
No, because, like you say, there's so much discipline associated with fighting in the NZIHL, so it's not as common as it is in the North American leagues. Both these players, like you say, are likely to face multi-game discipline, which will be a shame, especially for Justin NZIHL. He played a hell of a game today, but getting involved in that fight isn't going to help his case for scoring more goals this weekend, Matt.
That is very true. So we'll see how that goes. Best guess is they're out for the rest of the afternoon and the series, but we'll see how that goes. Everybody has to look at that on tape, all that good stuff. But the frustrations were not, NZIHL's making the case. He's banging away at him, and he feels like he's trying to be injured in that case. So he felt like he was defending himself, and I'm sure Darling has about the same story if you ask him. So we'll let that be what it is. If we get any news about this tomorrow, we'll certainly share it, because it does affect. These are two good players for both teams that get knocked out here. But at the same time, in a way, it sort of neutralizes itself. So the couple of penalties on the board. So I'm going to wait for a minute here, because there's a couple of things coming up, but I do believe this is going to be it's going to fall in the benefit of the Thunder here. It's just how much. So Flight is going off to serve. There's another player. So 2 minutes for high stick for being served by Flight, which I believe was actually called against Darling. And so there is no Devils penalty here.
Additional discipline to the Thunder there. So the Devils will get a 5-on-3 for a minute 51 here. That's a huge opportunity for them.
Yeah, this is going to be, it's almost unfortunate that the period falls between this, because 3 players out there for the Thunder. This has got to be something where the Devils take the lead. Big slap shot in, shot right away. Moore looks at it from an apt shot. He actually had some traffic, so good choice there. But an easy enough save as that hit Moore in the glove and the shoulder. Another one for Perver here. He needs to win this one, and he does. Out to Apps again, right out in front. Shot in, that's deflected. And stick lift. Very fortunate for Perver, for the Thunder, because Perver had it right out in front. But good defense. Apps over to Eden. Eden walks in, walks back. Out to the point. Nichols with a deflected shot in, doesn't go. And 5-on-3 continues. Eden's going to hold on to it. It's a high triangle, 2 out in front, and a goal!
And Perver there. Nichols through to Perver. Perver with the tip, buries it, gives the Devils the lead on the 5-on-3. 7 seconds to go in the period. Devils lead 5-4.
That was an important timing issue for them to get that shot off, going up by a goal, but the deflection by Perver into the net there just at the right time. The Devils were going to get caught there with the intermission between, but strangely the Thunder played too high and won back, and it burned them, because as Perver came around, Nichols just took the long sweeping shot in. Perver's right there with an empty net against Moore.
I think it's even a slap pass there from Nichols. It looked like he was aiming for the stick of Perver, who was right in the right spot.
Well, it all works out, and that's going to call the period as the horn goes. The puck on Eden's stick. The penalty continues. It is a 5-on-4, and we're going to see a minute 22 of power play time for the Devils when they come back on the third period. Harford out there having a discussion with the man in the orange cuffs, as that fight has really turned the tide here. the Devils are on top, got a goal when they really needed it, and then ended up with a further power play that they've got to get started with. The Thunder looking in all sorts of trouble here, which is exactly where the team in red wants them.
Absolutely. This game looked poised on a knife edge for a while, but like you say, Matt, that fight seems to have turned the tide. Devils capitalize on the 5-on-3 thanks to the big man Dan Nichols with the slap pass, feeding his captain Anton Perva. Devils take a 1-goal lead and a minute 22 on the power play into the third period, and a really good spot here to close out a win at home.
So that's where we leave it here. We'll be back in give or take about 10 minutes to discuss and go over the statistics. Don't forget, there is another game going on. The Sky City Stampede and the Botany Swarm are currently playing. They're on the other stream on YouTube here, so you want to catch some hockey while we're at a break, go check out that stream and come on back in about 11 minutes. We'll take you through the third period action. This one's going to be a good finish here in Christchurch at the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Take care.
Hello Dan, tell us how long have you been playing in the NZIHL?
I started playing back in 2008 as a fresh 18-year-old in the league, and I managed to play for about 6 seasons back then. And then for various life and career movements, moved to Wellington, so that meant I had to hang up the skates for a number of years. And just recently, over the last couple of years, I've been back in Christchurch, so I've been back involved with the team.
Last season, you were a coach on the bench. How has the transition been from being a coach versus now being a player again?
Yeah, coaching was a really interesting place last year. We had a lot of young and sort of lesser experienced Ds coming into our squad, so having that background playing D through the earlier part of my life was really good, trying to be able to teach, provide some lessons to the guys. But it's always a lot easier when you're standing on the side explaining things, and now transitioning back to a player, it's trying to practice what you preach a little bit. So yeah, that's been a little bit of a challenge and not quite as quick as I used to be, so trying to make up for that as well. So yeah, it's been a good challenge, but happy to be back out on the ice alongside the team.
And with 4 wins under your belt, coming after those 2 losses against the Stampede, how do you think the season's going to be shaping up looking forward?
Yeah, team's looking pretty good this season, but realistically this season for the NZIHL, all the teams are looking quite competitive across the opening 3 rounds. So we know we can't take anything for granted. We have to be ready to battle for every game that we play. And I think it's going to be a really exciting and interesting way the season shapes up this year.
So Matheson, when did you first start playing in the NZIHL, and do you have any aspirations to try out for the Ice Blacks this season?
I started playing in 2018 when I was about 17, and yeah, it's obviously been a goal of mine for a while now to eventually make the Ice Blacks, so yeah, I'd love to be able to trial for that.
Last weekend against the West Auckland Admirals was quite the exciting weekend. Talk us through what it was like getting your first NZIHL hat trick and scoring that game-winning goal.
Yeah, it was awesome. Pretty cool feeling. Didn't have any points going into that weekend, so it was great to sort of get the monkey off the back there, and awesome to be able to get the overtime goal and secure that overtime win.
So last weekend you connected really well with Hayden. How has it been like playing with him, and how has the team looked going forward, and what are your predictions for the rest of the season?
Yeah, you know, that game definitely, it was working well with Hayden there, and definitely like the sort of combinations we were trying there. And for the season, yeah, shaping up to be a lot better than the last couple of years, so it's a bit more faith this year, and hopefully we can go all the way.
200 games is quite the achievement, Chris. What have been some of the highlights from your time playing in the NZIHL, and particularly with the doubles?
We're having fun now, just like it has been over the past, back when you're winning. You know, it definitely changes going to work on a Monday. It's just a good time now, like the boys are kind of having fun. You know, once you get a few wins under your belt, you can kind of relax just a little, you know?
And talk us through what it was like getting that overtime goal last weekend against the Admirals, particularly since it was their 200th game.
It was a special one. You know, 200 games hasn't really sunk in yet. It's not something I've really thought about at all. However, as the days go past, it does have a little bit of significance to it, and it's just kind of cool to end the game on a note of, more importantly, winning. And the boys got it done for me. It's just been a fun ride.
I assume we're muted.
Looking ahead to the rest of the season,
so.
how do you feel the team is going to perform, and what's it like competing against the rest of the other teams in the league?
It's still one step at a time, one game at a time, one shift at a time. You know, with COVID still around, and to be fair to like the flu, it's kind of like just week by week. Guys falling down, guys getting back up, the roster constantly changing. I'm sure it's the same for every other team. But it's just step by step, and we're just trying to enjoy the process of turning up the training and actually having fun with it at the moment.
So you started the season quite early this year, Coach. How do you feel like that's had an impact on the team so far this season?
Well, it's kind of good and bad because we started early, so we had a lot more time to prepare. On the flip side, there was too many practice and with no games, and boys were hungry for a game, and so it was almost on the edge of burning out.
And do you think that hunger has actually helped drive the team to, you know, have that 4-game winning streak coming off those 2 losses against the Stampede?
Well, yeah, I mean, we started with 2 losses, so kind of like a good compensation after 2 losses having 4 wins. But that's a long season. That's not even halfway through, so we're baby steps.
And what's it like having such depth both on the bench, both player-wise and goalie-wise? You have 3 goalies this year, working with 4 lines. What's that kind of been like for you? Kind of a dream as a coach, or kind of tough at the same time?
It's a good headache for a coach. Yeah, I mean, it's a good worry to have, because I mean, we have a competition which we never had before. So now guys have to work hard to get a spot on the playing team. So that's what we want. So that's how we get better.
And looking forward to the rest of the season, how do you think the top 3, well, the 3 teams outside the Stampede, us, Botany, and West Auckland, are going to be competing, since very little points are separating us at the moment?
As you can see, the league is very competitive this year. There's no blowouts. All scores are very close, which is good. I don't remember, like, from top of my head, like, when we had this. So, which is good. So, I mean, at this point in time, I'm pretty sure the Stampede will lose points. Yeah, and it's hard to predict, but yeah, right. 4 teams are very even from what I have said.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
6.3 seconds. So there'll be 1 minute or so in the corner, and then we'll get into it. Let's just do a couple of giveaways though while we're waiting. We have 2 Sal's Pizzas giveaways here, and the question tonight, to give the answer, you need to come down to the scorer's bench, see the lovely young Alison wearing the dark hat, and she will take the first 2 correct answers. The question is, coming into tonight's game, how many goals have the Red Devils scored, which is also leading the league? I mentioned it at the start of the game. How many goals prior to tonight's action had the Red Devils scored coming into this action tonight for the season? So if you know the answer, you can come down and claim one of the Sal's Pizzas. If you also know the answer, come down and claim the second one. Let's run through those penalties in action there. They all occurred at 39:22. Just by the by, should you ever want to see the stats for the game, the stats are all live and you can find them off the New Zealand Ice Hockey Federation website and you'll find live action for the league. So, running through at 39:22, first off we have number 19, Justin Shoshaw, and he has 5 minutes for fighting and again misconduct. Coincidental is number 26 for the Thunder, Tristan Darling, also 5 minutes for fighting and 20 minutes for game misconduct. And then we also have number 26, Tristan Darling, he received an instigator, that's another 2 minutes. And then he also, number 26, received an aggressor, and another 2 minutes. So that's a whole lot of minutes. I think we have 1:22 remaining in the game. And of course, your Canterbury Devils are leading by 5-4. well done. And just to recap, the last action of the second period was a goal for the Canterbury Devils, scored by number 61, Anton Berger, and 39-53, assisted by number 21, Brad Alex, and number 7, Dan Nichols. So that's a goal 61, assisted by 21-7, and 39-53. The Red Devils hold a 5-4 lead, and they have a minute 22 left.
Koto Koto, welcome back everybody to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. My name is Matt Chavez. I'm here with Alex Gandy, bringing you the third period action between the Red Devils and the Dunedin Phoenix Thunder. Flight's going to go off for the 122 if you were with us through the second period. And he's going to serve the remainder of that penalty. And let's see, while we get the goalies back out on the ice, go through the action through the second period. There was a lot of it. 3-2 was Hayden Bull from NZIHL. That's the assist that you were talking about, Alex. Then 3-3, Audis from Reed. Then 3-4, so that was Billy Sheard taking the lead for the Thunder from Blair and Enright, those assists. Then Joseph Orr with the assist from Eden, getting it back at 32-19. Then a flurry of penalties, fights, misconduct, and nastiness generally. And then 39-53 with 7 seconds to go. Perver from Apps and Nichols. So those are the assists. Somehow I think Apps pass might have been before it got to Nichols, so that's the 2 assists. 5-4 the score. The Devils win the face-off on clean ice. Zamboni off the ice, of course, and the Devils looking to get some speed going through the offensive zone. Good move. Oh, what a quick shot by Eden. But Moore is up to the task, and the power play continues. That's out to neutral. Brown's got it for a second. No, that's Apps. Apps sends it all the way across to his compatriot, and Orr takes it through and gets it knocked away and sent back. Alex, quick action to start the third.
Yeah, Devils taking a 1-goal lead into this third period here, along with this power play. You'd certainly say advantage Devils at the start of the third period. But as we've seen so far tonight, this game is back and forth all night. This game is by no means done.
So that goes out to Eden as he goes through the center of the rink here, and that gets tipped out momentarily. Offsides the call. 21 seconds to go on this power play that's bisected the third period. The 5-on-3 paid off for the Devils with just 7 seconds to go, getting the lead back at 5-4. And we're going to go back to this with 21 seconds. We also saw on the update, you may have been maybe coming away from a 1-1 game over between Botany and Sky City. Probably the surprise of the year so far to see that result on the board at the moment, but only 2 periods in. So this is looking to be a very telling afternoon for the way this season's going to go for the NZIHL. Tipped away by Carey. Carey paddles that one up into the glass. And 3 seconds to go here, so they can't just clear it out. And we're going to go okay, so then didn't know this, but there is a continued, so it must have been a 4-minute minor. Didn't hear that part from the scoreboard, so we continue on with 2 more minutes of power play. Didn't see that on the board, didn't catch that, so our apologies, but the power play continues. Darfield knocks it out, and that's going to be tapping to collect. Bothered by a couple of the Phoenix Thunder players. They're going to get a turnover and a shorthanded opportunity. Passed in, and actually goes off Carey. He knocks it away, and that goes into the corner. Thunder doing a good job. Devlin distracting everything. Turnover shot right in front. Terrible play. It was passed towards Hayden Bull, but turned over, and Gregory's going to get credit for a shot there. But that was a lot of danger to give up a shorty with 1:15 to go in the power play.
Got to do better in there for the Devils. You've got this power play. You've got so much runway into this third period where if you can just execute as you need to, you're up 1. You can be up 2 even with a lot of time still left to play.
Rolfe loses that face-off for the Thunder, and looks like Nichols is trying to get that out. And they do that up the right side, or with some speed. To Bull. Bull's going to take it around a couple of players. He's looking for Apps. Waits patiently, then goes backwards on it. And that puck just sits there on the clean ice, waiting for somebody to do something with it. It's held on by the Devils behind, but it's quickly turned over. Eden just loses that one a split second. It's turned right back out. Apps with it. Apps looking to hold and pass. And that pass goes up to Nichols. Nichols is careful with it. Holds his man off. And they start a 3-on-3 here. Apps walks it in the zone. Apps takes a shot. That goal is nudged off again. So I don't know if they're going to call that or if they're going to try to get that back on. Nichols has it on the other side.
Looks like some goalie maintenance there to put that goal back on its pegs.
So Pervert's going to bring it up the right side. He's looking to drag it in front. Oh, and a shot right in front by Nichols, but he's skated by the shot. That has to be a goal.
That looked like it went in.
That looked like it was a goal. I have no idea. And that definitely is a goal. They scored twice on that one, Alex.
Bradley has to make sure that second one comes. Burying it high in the goal. Red Devils with a great sequence there. Maybe put it in the net twice, but certainly the second time, putting themselves up 2 goals, 6-4 in the third period.
Yeah, you can see them talking about it. They have no idea how the light didn't go on with that first one, but that's okay. Karma persists. The Red Devils go up 2 goals. And I think there's going to be a question about that one later on. We'll see that on the replay. Maybe you can see if it did go in. Maybe even scrub back a little bit. You might see it if it hit the net or not. Let us know in the comments there. Oh, I sound like I need a subscription. Hit the bell, all that stuff. Shot in, and a quick one in on Carey. Good positional save by shot from Enright. And Carey on his game today. I mean, really, he's been beaten by some funny bounces, so he's having himself a pretty decent game. 6-4 the score, a 2-goal lead for the Devils. Now it's time to put this one in the old deep freeze. If they can do it, it's going to be quite a big jump. And with the Swarm in a game with the Stampede, this one's going to be really important. Reese up the left side. He holds onto the puck, gets his to his teammate, Alex Dam. Dam's got it. He's looking for Monk. Monk can't hold on to it. That's out in front. Enright with his own opportunity right out in front. And Carey with a huge save. Enright dumped the defender. He ends up in the net right after Carey makes the save. Gloves it, holds on to it, and gets a face-off.
This is how the Thunder look to play against the Devils. They're getting their pack in behind the defense, making them skate backwards, making them turn around. Matt Enright takes advantage but can't score. Carey makes another big save. We haven't talked about him that much tonight, Matt, but that generally means he's doing a good job. And once again tonight, he is keeping his team well in this game.
Devlin to take this one. I got to say, I think the Devils have played well, but I would say that the Thunder have outskated. That's a shot in by Devlin. He won that face-off and got a quick wrister off that. Dangerous, but over the pipe. And they continue on the offense here. Nothing to lose for the team in green. Hartford with a long shot in. That goes off the backboards. Walked in, another shot. And I think that was, I'm not sure who that was, honestly. That was 23. That was Max Simpson with kind of a heavy shot in. Carey gloves it and stops play. Faceoff's going to be on the other side. Lowe's going to take it against Devlin. An important one here again. The Thunder doing their very best to upset everybody with the faceoff wins. They did it again, wraparound that just doesn't get through. The Thunder doing everything they can, and a penalty coming. Not sure what that one's for. Interference is the call as it looks like a stick was kicked. The goal
That's
stick
the goalie
was kicked.
paddle.
Yeah, I think one of the Thunder kicked away the goalie stick. And
Who's
if I'm
going
not,
here?
I have no idea, but I think that has to be the Thunder. Nothing on the board yet. Faceoff's going to be at center ice. It's a penalty shot. That's why everybody's getting off the ice. They kicked Carey's stick away, but the call was indeed on the Devils.
May have been on the wraparound attempt there.
It was the wraparound attempt. Therefore, it is a penalty shot. Don't happen very often, but they do happen. And that's going to be Ian Audis taking this against Carey. Carey's looking at it. And with the calmest of attitudes, stood there, waited for him, and just shoved the stick out, got rid of it, and that's enough of that.
Good job from Carey to stand tall there against Audis. That's 2 teenagers there, Matt, going at it. One on the attack, one on the defense. Carey stands tall. We've been calling his name a couple times in the third period here, and there again, he shows you what a calming presence he is at the back of the Devils. providing those saves when he needs to there. That would have made it a 1-goal game, a lot to play for, but instead Devils still have a 2-goal cushion with 15 minutes to play.
Some confusion here for the Devils. Apparently they're not allowed to have a line change, so they're sorting out who's on the ice. They still have 6. Eden's coming off as quickly as possible, but another discussion here. Nobody can quite decide, but now we've got the correct 5 on. And fighting away for that puck. That is one and out to Graham. Graham's going to come up the left side with a nifty move collecting that puck. He kicks it forward for himself, but he can't get the shot off. Thunder breakout, and that's turned over to Tappan. Tappan's going to send it back, and Graham's going to get another shot up the left side. He comes hard, looking for a tip that goes through the crease, but just off the right side, and nobody home to tap it in, but nonetheless, a dangerous opportunity for the Devils, trying to get up by 3 here. Fontaine with it. Fontaine
or Graham, I love it.
It's a fantastic line. At the moment, that is making the most of everything. Keokuk loses that puck, turns it over 1-on-3. Eden just takes it right off the stick and moves back. Gets it up to Apps. Apps is going to hold on to it. Looks for a long pass into Orr. Orr gets his stick lifted. Eden comes all the way around and collects. Fantastic hustle by him. Apps is going to get it in the left corner. He looks for Brown, but doesn't pass it. Now it does go to Brown. Brown knocks it up, and it goes out to neutral, so they're going to have to reset. Apps with it. Long pass to Eden. Eden's going in backwards as well, so then they reset. Brown, pass forward. That missed the tape of Orr. Orr's going to slap it and go around. Apps is going to come up the other side, try to play that away. A little bit of a forecheck, but not much. Up to Enright. Enright dumps, and everybody else chases. But Nichols gets there first. Doesn't get it out of the zone. Shot in. Glove save. And little extras there by Gregory. That may be a penalty. We'll see. Yep, he's sending him off. I don't know if it's going to be 2 minutes or not, but it was just a blatant cross-check at the end. I think it was Gregory, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
sure is. You got to imagine that it's 2 minutes, just the referee trying to clean up any extracurriculars here. Obviously, we've had a lot of it in this game. If you missed it late in the second period, we had a fight, which we don't often see in this league, but Saisho and Darling went for that, and referee trying to keep it clean, sending Gregory off, sending the Devils back to the power play.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that they want to send a message to both teams that nothing's going to be tolerated for the rest of this afternoon's proceedings, and they're keeping this one tight, and an obvious cross-check by Gregory into App's arm in frustration. Power play to the Devils. They win the face-off, hold on to it, look for a pass. That goes out of the zone and sent all the way down. Carey does a good job of holding it up. And 5-on-4, we continue with the top line for the Thunder out there, looking to try to get something up there. Dodwell with a pass to Perver. Perver looking to get a shot off, but he can't. Held up by Fontaine to Perver. Perver in the corner, looking to get that out. Back to Fontaine, but he can't. It gets intercepted before it gets to him, and a 2-on-2 opportunity breakout. Devlin in front, and
what
a
a
fantastic
save.
glove save by Carey. Face-off coming, but right now, I think the difference in this game is clearly Tim Carey.
Yeah, he's been so good tonight, just controlling every rebound coming his way. Thunder getting next to no second chances. You see it there. That is a sharp shot coming at him. He manages to glove it, hold it, get his team a restart. And you see on this penalty kill how aggressive the Thunder are playing. Even down a man, they love to play high against the Devils. They have this man in deep here, and they have 2 players through the middle here, even though they're down a man.
And they have to, because they are down 2 goals in the third. They're doing what they can to take chances and opportunities to make some sort of an impact and get a couple of goals on the board. They're running out of time quickly. The only team in the league without a win yet this year. They have 6 losses on the board, and you know they're hungry to get something here. That's tipped back to Eden through center and gains the line. Rister coming, no, not quite. And, ooh, that's quickly deflected out all the way down, and Tappan's going to collect that with 40 seconds to go on the cross-check penalty to Gregory. Out to center. Through neutral, but turned over, and Apps is going to recollect. couple of changes for the Devils as Apps gains the line. He holds on to it, but that's tipped away, up in the air, swiped that. And a good fight there by Fontaine holding on to that puck. Another good play for him. Nichols holds it in. That goes around. Orr's going to try to get to it, but he doesn't get to it first. That's to Apps. Apps is going to get it to Fontaine in the corner. He's holding it in the left and trying to get around. Defense holding for the Thunder, but then turn back to Apps. The lack of a fifth man making a difference there. Fontaine behind the net looking for a pass to Apps. Apps has got lots of time, but he gets tipped off his stick. And that's going to do it for the power play. That clearance is on Carey, so no icing there. And the Devils are, well, there's almost nobody out there on the ice as they all make a change. And they had to be ready for that one, as that was not an icing call. And neither was this, as the Thunder have the puck and they look to break out. Out to Nichols. Nichols passes away to Hopkins. Hopkins can't hold on to it. Sent all the way in. Carey's going to play it back to the corner with that funny bounce out in front into the crease. And then Perver's going to collect, go behind the cage, look to Dodwell. Dodwell's got it. Then back out to Reese. Reese is going to go as far as he can, but it gets turned over. Devlin's got the puck for a moment, but he can't walk it in like he wanted to. And Lewis back out on the ice. Dodwell with it. Perver came in offside. Dodwell didn't hold up in time. And that man attack rush, it looked like a 3-on-2 pretty much. And can't do it because Dodwell jumped just a touch before.
Really close play at the line there, but Dodwell again caught at the line. Second time tonight for him. Unfortunate for the Devils there. It looked like they were in with a pretty good shot there. They are still up 2 goals, 10 minutes to play. They are, as you say, Matt, putting this one on ice fairly well with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's been a good first half of this period. Bull wins that faceoff. Reese is going to have to go back and chase it down because Enright's going flying by. It's pretty clear that the team speed is not the problem for the Thunder. Up to Fontaine. Fontaine's got to chase this one. He's going to get there, but not quite in front of his player. And that's turned back around. Harford with a good skate to stay out in front of Fontaine and prevent another good shot by the Devils. Fontaine has it for just a moment, then turned back around. That's going to be Graham coming up the left side, holding on to it, looking for possession. Gets a pass off to Bull, back to Brown at the point. Brown pushes it forward up the boards, and that goes in behind the cage. With Bull looking for it, he's going to try to kick it away, but that goes back to Harford. Harford turns that around. Fontaine finds out about it and skates hard, and then that's turned over and then intercepted just for a moment. Gregory's back out there. He should have some fresh legs after the time he spent in the box. Can't hold on to it. Everybody looking for something, but that goes out of the zone. That is offside, so Devlin has to clear, and the Devils get a moment's respite. That puck goes out to neutral and turned over. Nobody really holding on to it. Then Stefanuson comes in hard up the left side and holds on to it. Good play by him. That goes behind. Harry Lowe with that check into the boards, and the Thunder get a hold of it. And as they try to pass it forward, a bit of a 2-on-2. That is Ian Audis in that corner there, skating hard for the Thunder. Up to Allen. Allen's trying to push it into the side. Audis collects it again. And he gets
big
pounded.
hit from Monk.
Audis gets the worst part of that, and Carey holds on to it. That play was whistled down as a glove save, even though it kind of came out. And yeah, it was Ian Audis taking that one hard from, I think that was Daniel Monk that threw that check there, right?
It was, yeah. That whistle may have been a little early on the goal as well. It looked like the players were still involved in the play after the whistle, but nonetheless, the play has been stopped. 8 minutes 51 to play. Red Devils still up 2 goals.
Yeah, that may have been one of those situations where they did not want any kind of violence breaking out again. So smart play by everybody to just go ahead and do that. But it did seem like it was a little early, and that may have cost the Thunder an opportunity. Flight with a shot. Flight knocked over by his own player for just a moment, and the Devils look to break out. Eden's looking for his spot up the right side, but Orr with it down the left. He breaks it in front of 2 people out in front. 2 pad saves by Moore and sent all the way down. This is an icing, obviously. And the Keokuk right in a good spot. And the Thunder bench not happy with the icing call quite so quickly. And I think Flight and Eden are both going off for jawing. We'll see. Yep, that is the case. So I think they're going to cool them off for 10 minutes. Now, if that's the case, they are out for the remainder of regulation. If it is 10 minutes, we'll find out.
Looked like a signal for roughing, so it may well just be 2 minutes aside.
Yep, it sure is. So coinciding roughing minors, which is going to be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Regardless of how this goes, this is probably a good thing for the Phoenix, getting some more ice opened up, looking for offense. It's generally better, the fewer players, the more goals, and that fits the team that's down just fine. The Devils win that. That's won by Orr skating hard up the left side. Beat Harford all the way down the ice, holds on to it, goes around and around and around, finally passed on the other opposing point. And as that was trying to get around the goal, it was stopped up, and more physicality behind the net, although that was all legal. Looked a little bit of kind of interfering, but the puck was right there, and it was a good play by the Thunder. They set up a good opportunity themselves, Devlin, with it behind the net. Carey looking around, and that's turned over. The Devils continue their work. Fontaine with it. He's held. Devlin just pulling at him.
Fontaine winding it up. Here he goes.
Here he goes, yep. And that is...
Never mind.
Oh, that is a very poor choice. Devlin ran himself into the post there. And I'm not sure that... I don't think there's a penalty. They're just saying it was off, but the
you don't need to fix the net just then.
No, and it wasn't even off. There's nothing to fix. So there's a discussion here as to what's going on. But Fontaine had a fantastic run up the right side. Fairly unabridged as far as him getting to the net. And it all turns out to be a face-off in the defensive end for the Devils here. Yeah, that's won by the Devils, but turned over quickly. Gregory looking to get a shot with a bad angle, so he decides better to get it to Stitley and then back around for a wrister. Looking back to Gregory for a one-timer. Doesn't happen. Can't connect, and the Devils are back out. Fontaine holds up on the line, does a great job staying onside. Graham to Fontaine. Fontaine can't bury it. Just slightly off. Graham's pass was a little too close to Moore there. And the Thunder rush back down. Tipped away, and that's a shot that was very close to going in. A good opportunity. It looked like Enright had a good opportunity to start, and then he passed it. Was it Stitley that had that opportunity there?
It was a really good defensive stick, I think, to interrupt Enright's chance there. Falling back to Gregory, I think it was, and then a nice save from Tim Carey to clean it up. So good scramble defense by the Devils to keep that one out.
There you go. So 4-on-4 continues here for 40 more seconds. La Bamba ends, and the Phoenix Thunder look to get something going on the board as they're down 2 goals. That's turned over. Skating forward and out of the zone. Is that Orr? And a penalty.
Bradley Apps. That is a bad penalty to take.
That is a really bad penalty out in the middle of everybody looking at it as the skater comes up the ice. Was that was in fact Joe Orr flying up the ice, and Apps does the kind of the equal and opposite thing that happened to him from Gregory, just the obvious cross check. So just to clear things up, we're just under 7 minutes to go. 6-4 the score for the Devils, and we have 23 seconds on the board for matching minors, which is 4-on-4, but the penalty that just went to Apps makes it 4-on-3, and it's going to be that way for another 20 seconds. Then we go 5-on-4 after that clears. Shot in. That was a quick shot in by Devlin. His wrister held by Carey, and we continue 4-on-3 for 12 seconds with a face-off coming in the offensive zone for the Thunder. It's quiet in this building.
Devils leaving the door open here late in the game. Thunder down 2, but certainly that door left open. But Tim Carey is trying his best to slam that door shut as the time ticks down.
Yeah, that does not get out. A good pass attempt, and then it gets knocked away. Nichols is going to control it and flip it all the way out. That's tipped. Graham with it. That was a high stick, so it has to be played by the Thunder first. That's cleared. A couple of changes. The 5-on-4 is now underway. A couple of players come off, Orr and Gregory go back out, so the power play continues. But like I said, 5-on-4 now for the next minute 20 as App sits in the box for a cross-check. Enright with it, looking for a long pass across the ice, connects and gets it to Gregory. Gregory holds on to it, sends it behind to Audis. Audis looking for Devlin again. Devlin at the hard point. He's going to take a wrister back in to Audis. Audis has it at his skates. It's knocked away for just a second, but he controls it. Audis back to Devlin. Devlin walks backwards, looks for a pass, goes across the ice, sent through. And that was Harford not able to get much on it. Carey holds on to it. And that was a sputtering offense there from the Thunder, just kind of knocking it around, not really sure what to do.
But no rebounds, Matt. No rebounds all night long. Tim Carey's doing a great job holding on to that puck.
It sure is. 50 seconds to go on the 5-on-4 power play for the Thunder at the moment. Phoenix Thunder looking to get one of these 2 goals back. If they don't do that quickly, they're going to be in some serious trouble this afternoon. Shot in, missed the net. Devlin's going to collect it. Devlin holds it back to Gregory at the near point. Gregory passes it, and it goes back around to Harford, and that's turned over. Goes right onto the stick of Eden. Eden's looking for a shorty here. He's pulled down by Gregory, but no call. I think he just skated through that stick and ends up tripping himself, but he fights for it and almost gets another opportunity there. And that's into the boards, and some good forecheck for the Devils for a moment, and that pass doesn't quite connect. It gives enough time for some fresh legs to go out. Fontaine and Graham are on the ice looking to block things up for a Flight. Flight's got it. And that penalty is about up here, guys. That's going quickly. And Reagan Wilson not able to do anything with it there. That's turned back around. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. A big penalty kill for the Devils. And that does go offside. It looked close. And yeah, that was Gregory throwing it back in. Offside's the call. So we'll go through the sponsors one more time. Spark New Zealand, Business Hub Christchurch, Cedra Express, Majors Contracting, Aotearoa Gaming Trust, Fisher's Hockey and Spinorama, and Go Media. Thank you all for sponsoring the Red Devils in this exciting afternoon of hockey here in Christchurch. And that was won by the Devils there. It looks like Hopkins is going to, oh no, Hopkins gets plastered into the board instead, but he manages to get the puck out. Great play. And out to Dodwell. Dodwell's taking it through the middle. He's got 4 players. He still takes the shot. Great shot right at the shoulder of Moore. And Moore knocks it away. I think he actually flinched Mighty Duck style there. Yeah. And that was close to the ear. And he gets away with it as he knocks it away with his shoulder and goes in the corner, and we play on. And that stays in the corner. Dodwell, big man, holding that off to Perver. Perver's behind the net. Right out in front, but nobody home. Reese with it. Reese quickly knocks it back into the corner, which was helpful for a few minutes, and that lets the Red Devils get back into a place where they can defend Rolf there, which kept him away from the puck, and no shot coming there. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go, and some good passing by the Devils here. Low with a shot. That's a deflection. It gets behind. Moore not able to hold on to. That puck gets knocked into the corner. Some fantastic play by the third line there, getting some good chances and some slashing there on Brown by Enright. No call, just kind of heavy stick work. And then Brown pushes down Gregory.
Really good from Brown to stick with that.
Yeah, some solid play all the way around. Out to, it's turned over to Graham, and he takes it all the way down to Brown. Brown's got, no, he doesn't have the puck in the corner, but I think that's, Monk holds it in. He sends it all the way to the crease. That was actually a very dangerous, would you call it a slap pass in the other period there?
Yeah,
a solid hit.
That is not a good hit.
That was a decleater. Fontaine took his person out there, but I don't think it had everything to do with...
Oh, it's got some board?
Yeah, I think he may have... Well, that is definitely not stick.
That is some dasher.
That is dasher. So that's a dangerous play. The rink pretty much just, we lost a piece of it there.
Yep,
and
take that as a souvenir.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a look and make sure that that's safe to play. I'm not sure it is. We'll see. Yeah, they are shooing the goalies off the ice, asking the people in charge here to take a look at the board that came off. So the dasher is the wooden part on the top of the lower boards that runs along where the glass actually enters into the boards. So it's slightly further out than the glass. It's not even, if you're not aware of how that works. Like, you could put your hand on it if you needed to. If you were here skating and you just had your skates on, you could hold on to it. And the little piece that was right next to it came out and actually took one of the players out. It wasn't Fontaine's hit. I mean, Fontaine's had a good game, but he's not 400 pounds either. And I didn't catch who it was that flipped, but it took one of the skaters from the Thunder right off his skates.
Yeah, it's one of those hits that ends up looking way worse than it is. Not only does it desecrate the rink a little bit, but it looks, his skates come out from under him first and then he hits the ice, which always is not a good look. You don't want that helmet to come down first. You want to, of course, take the brunt of that force on your back or on your backside.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting scenario here. I assume that they will continue playing here. I don't think that's going to be any kind of problem, but let's reset, because this is effectively a timeout for both teams. And we'll see what happens here with the with the dasher. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a... Let's see if we can zoom this right in on that spot right there. If there's a spot there, you can see a person with a red hat that is, there he is, that guy with the red hat, and the skater that's right over there. There's a piece that he's looking at right there. If you can zoom in on that's the piece that they're looking at. So if you look at it, they're taping it up now. That's how it is. So shout out to the camera crew here doing the best that they can with what they what is an interesting situation to have something like a maintenance scenario be the what we're talking about. So that's different. But let's reset. So where are we on this, Alex? We are at 6-4, so a 2-goal lead, and we've got 2 minutes and 52 seconds on the board. Are we on 5-on-5? I think we are, right?
Yeah, it's 5-on-5 as far as we know at the moment. I don't think there'll be a penalty assessed on that play, given that it looks like it was the rink that took the skater out more so than the hit.
Yep.
So yeah, 2:52 to play. We might look for the goalie to come out soon for the Thunder, given that they are down 2 with less than 3 minutes to play. It is coming right down to the wire for them. Both teams going to be looking here just to play as hard as they can next couple of minutes, close this one out. I will say for the Thunder, they don't look as if they are a team that has 0 wins on the season. They've looked pretty good tonight. They've given the Devils fits at times. They've really been able to put them under pressure. Devils have just been able to finish a little bit better. Tim Carey's been able to keep it out at their own end, and that's been the difference so far.
So I'll give you an update as well while we're looking at it. Almost unbelievably, the Botany Swarm have a 2-1 lead over the Stampede at the moment. Wouldn't want to encourage anybody to look to switch streams, but boy, if they had 2 of them open at the same time, they'd be getting some hockey right now, and that would be an interesting game, because if the Stampede drop one, they're only 4 points ahead of the Admirals, 5 points ahead of the Red Devils. Now, I'm not suggesting by any stretch that they're not the best team in the league at the moment, but let's go back to what we had here the first weekend. The Red Devils had a lead after 2 periods in both games when the Stampede were here.
Yep.
But they were outscored 7-0 in the third period of combined of the 2 games, 4 goals and 3 goals. And that's what ended up giving the Stampede their wins, their first 2 wins, quite a ways back in the season. Now, obviously that's pretty important at this point, but it also says a lot about the fact that the Devils are learning how to win, And this is what they're doing right now. If they can put this one away, that's I'd say that's progress in the sense that you start in that situation, you give up some goals, it makes a difference, but now they're in a position that they have the pressure on them to finish this off and make sure they get 3 points. If they get those 3 points, it's a big deal. It might even be a bigger deal at the end of the night the way this is going.
Yeah, absolutely. Games like this are feathers in your cap when you're a team like the Devils, looking to be on the up and up, looking to take a step forward, become a contending team in this league. And like you say, if the Stampede drop one tonight, then all of a sudden this league becomes a little bit more open than it was 24 hours ago.
The Swarm go up to 12. The Stampede are staying at 18. It gets really tight. But if anything, the team in green wants something to say about that. We have a tape job that is magnifique, I think is how they'd say that.
That is an NZIHL tape job right there, Matt.
And we're back underway. Devils with the face-off. When they keep it in the offensive end here, that's swept forward to Orr. Everybody with a good break here. I mean, you just don't get a timeout like that. It feels more like American football where everybody sits around at the end of the game. Instead, everybody's rested here, and we get back underway with a long shot. Oh, what a save by Moore.
Diving stick save.
Moore was coming off. We didn't see that right away because it was pretty early, 2:20 on the board still, and Moore with a fantastic save, sticking that stick way out and getting a save that really he had no business getting, keeping the Thunder in it. Devlin with a shot in. That's deflected down. Hartford with it. 6-on-5 as we continue the empty net for the Thunder. Devlin with it.
That was a Superman style save.
That was insane. I hope we got that on film because that was one of the best saves I've seen in my life of any league at all. Now that goes out to neutral ice. Devlin's got to collect that. And a minute 40 to go. I mean, for a 6-4 game, you wouldn't say it's dominated by the goaltenders, but here we are. Gregory with it. He brings it up the right side. He's trying to get a shot off. That's not able to do so. Out to Regan Wilson. Regan not able to hold it in. Sheard passes it forward, but looks for the corner and finds a Red Devil. And that's knocked up to Eden, but Eden can't get it on his tape to finish this game off. Minute 14 on the board officially. And we continue with the team in green trying to get something done. Devlin's going to come up the left side, gain the zone, moves forward, looking for a pass, sweeps it behind. Carey looks at it, knocks it to the side, and Bull's got it, and that's tipped to the side. Here we go. Fontaine with a goal. Absolutely deserves it. Fontaine getting the empty netter. 7-4 the score, and that's going to do it. The Red Devils are going to get all 3 points at home and take the first of 2 against the Thunder here at the Alpine Ice.
Signed, sealed, and delivered by Jackson Fontaine. What a game from the young man. That is a nice cherry on top for him. The Red Devils go up 7-4 with 53 seconds to play here. They're going to take this one here this afternoon.
So Moore back out there. Let's not forget that one by Moore. Holy cow, what a save. I am looking forward to looking at that on the replay when I can see it. Yeah. That was a fantastic save to keep things going. Kudos to him. And
ends
really
up being inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, but what a save that is.
Yeah, that's disappointing in some ways, but not really for the Devils. And that's going to be an icing call that goes in. Just 35 seconds or so to go on the clock. I don't think I can remember a game that was 7-4 and had so much to do with the goalies doing a fantastic job. You just don't hear that in an 11-goal game.
Yeah, we've had quite the game here this afternoon, Matt. Bit of everything. Bit of broken rink, bit of goalie superhero heroics, bit of fights happening. We've had it all.
It's been a good one, and for the near sellout crowd here, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow and you're in Christchurch, you have no excuse. It's a terrible day tomorrow with lots of rain. Come on out. It's going to be a great day for hockey. That's turned over right in front. Keokuk with a shot. That actually was a bit of a knuckler and nearly caught Moore, but I'm now expecting a lot more out of Moore anyways because he's been pretty darn good. I'd say it's the best goaltending I've ever seen where they've given up 7 goals. But with that said, enough of the plaudits for the Thunder. Although they had a very good game generally, the Red Devils have played that much better, and they take the win 7-4 this afternoon at the Alpine Ice.
Great game from the Devils today. 7-4 win. They got this one done. Even though they weren't dominant the whole way through, they found a way to win. And that's what we've been saying throughout the season, Matt. Good teams need to find ways to win. And today is one of those days for the Devils.
They've done exactly that. Normally we would stick with you and give you lots of good post-game review and all of those kinds of things. But if you're a fan of this league, the last thing you want to do is try to listen to me and Alex tell you all about it when there's another game on right now. It's 2-1 for the Swarm. Go take a look at that stream while it's still going. We'll be here tomorrow, same time, 4:30 to start for the Devils here at the Alpine Ice. Alex Genty, Matt Chavez, we'll see you tomorrow for another fantastic game of ice hockey here in Christchurch. Thanks, everybody.